Welcome to practice day 3 of the 151st Open Championship. You're looking at the back 9 and my goodness, the countdown is on to that first tee-off time. 6:35 a.m. tomorrow morning. Some last practice, the last day of practice, and what a bird's eye view you have there of the range. So many storylines, so much to talk about. Hoylake blown upon by mighty winds, breeder of mighty champions. The writer Bernardon was absolutely spot on. This is an atmosphere like no other. The day before a major championship, and the crowd is absolutely buzzing. Packed grandstand here. Are you excited about today? Should we try it one more time? Are you glad to be here? It went so well. It did. You were better in rehearsal. And hello to Neil. Good morning, Neil. He wanted me to give him a shout out. Oh, great to see so many fans. This area of the country is really steeped in golfing history. I'm sure the golfers love that as well. Joined by 5-time DP World Tour winner David Howell.
Was it only 5? It's only 5.
It's only 5, and it's sort of 15 years ago. Yes, a couple of Ryder Cups as well. Finished 15th here at Hoylake. David, I was driving in this morning, very early doors. And I was thinking, bit of Rudyard Kipling here. How do you keep your head when all about you are losing theirs?
Mr. Kipling. I was thinking about something different.
Poet.
Cakes. No?
Well, have you had your cake? Actually, there was George in the grandstand a couple of days ago. It was his 84th birthday. And we're still trying to find him a piece of cake. But just a celebration of so many things here at the Open Championship. But on a serious note,
yes.
When you come here to the Open as a player, as you have on many occasions, to keep your nerve, to keep in the zone, to keep focus, how do you do it?
Well, it's what everyone that's here, I mean, that's what their whole life is about, isn't it? Now, if you're coming down the stretch, I've never come down the last couple of holes to win an Open. I've not done quite that well.
You've done top 10s.
I've had my moments, yeah, but
place.
for sure. But that's what these guys have been dreaming about and living for the last 20 years. You have to embrace the stress, basically. It's not a walk in the park. I mean, if anyone's watching thinking no one is feeling the pressure, of course that's not the case. Everyone's feeling it to different degrees, of course. But on a weekly basis, all these players, they face these challenges. It's just elevated a little bit more when it comes to a major championship.
A little bit more?
And an Open Championship. Well, for some,
yeah.
The rookie coming down the stretch, which is, we've seen over the years, maybe with the most unexpected victories. Of course, the levels. Stephen Bottomley walked into the curry house on Monday night. The Sky were having a dinner. And Stephen Bottomley, now, I think it was in 1995, Stephen Bottomley, very nearly from a very average, in the nicest possible way, Stephen, journeyman,
speaks highly of you,
DP
David.
World Tour Pro, loveliest fella in the world, coming down the stretch at St Andrews with a chance to win. Now, for him, that was elevated beyond belief, and he performed admirably. Didn't win the Open, I think, finished 3rd, I think. But then if you've got Rory coming down the stretch, or in days gone by, Scotty Scheffler, they're used to it, aren't they? It's where they live all the time, so for them it's not quite so difficult to handle those emotions.
Yeah.
But that's why professional golf is so great. When you're watching the shots, they are suffering underneath.
Absolutely.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and just thinking about all the different ways of getting into the Open, different qualifiers and different stories. Or listening to Colin Morikawa's press conference, winning the Open Championship is his first major. It's just incredible, isn't it?
Can you imagine?
No. I really can't.
It's just fantastic, isn't it?
Just
imagine. Well, I just won my first one.
Yeah, playing in links.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, mate, quite remarkable.
It is in links conditions. He's playing with Tyrrell Hatton. They're good mates, actually.
Yeah, that's a curious couple, isn't it?
It is. But I saw a different side of Tyrrell Hatton on the range. I mean, you know him well. He was brilliant fun. Just want to point out though that this Open here at Hoylake really is, as I said earlier, the breeder of mighty champions. Former champions include Harold Hilton, Walter Hagen, Bobby Jones, Peter Thompson in 1956, Tiger Woods 2006, Rory McIlroy 2014. David, the cream rises to the top. Yeah,
that's one heck of a list to
add
your name to, isn't it?
And 2 out of the 3 amateurs that have won here, you can tell I've been doing a little bit of research over there.
You just know this.
John Ball and Harold Hilton, they were members of Hoylake. Huge advantage.
Yeah, huge advantage.
Yeah.
Or unfair advantage.
Bobby Jones was the other one.
So maybe a local boy.
Maybe a local boy. It's all about ball striking, isn't it? Brilliance of being champion. Can you imagine being called champion golfer of the year come Sunday?
Well, no. No, I'm not playing. But you know, it's just amazing. I like the way they do that as well. The champion golf. It's classy,
Sorry,
isn't it?
just gonna do.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But someone's going to walk away with the claret jug, aren't they? It's going to be absolutely fantastic
it's
for them.
epic. It's
to
epic.
add
And you know,
name to that history, as you say, all the way to Hagen. Yeah, me and Hagen. You know,
Hagen?
lovely, isn't it?
I mean, he was almost your decade. Your era, not decade.
Steady on. I have got feelings.
No. But Cameron Smith, he does not want to lose that claret jug, does he? He had to give it back.
That must be quite a horrible thing to do, to roll in with it in the case and give it back. Yeah, maybe slightly damaged or something if it was hanging around in my house.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, kids.
He had a few beers in it, didn't he? Yes, yeah, can relate to that.
But yeah, I'm sure desperate
wants it back.
to
I mean,
get it back. Maybe that's a good thing, actually, releasing it, getting rid of it, then you have to go and get it again, rather than holding on with it until Sunday.
Yeah.
He's going to be, I think he's going to be a real challenger this week.
Really is saying he's playing, you know, better golf than he did 12 months ago, working a little bit on his driver, but he's happy with the results he's had of late. I'm just thinking of handing trophies back, putting things behind you. Rory McIlroy winning the Scottish Open, putting that behind him, starting afresh this week. We've just had Phil Mickelson on the range, the last player to win the Scottish Open and the Open, the only player to do it, those back-to-back victories. How impressive was that? And Phil, you know, in the Masters this year, my goodness, what could he do this week?
Well, you never know with Phil, do you? He could do anything. It could be 82,
like us,
78, really. Or it could be a couple of 64s to start. I mean, he's he's so mercurial, isn't he? You never know what you're going to get with Phil. That win at Turnberry from Mickelson's was epic, wasn't it? Coming off the Scottish Open, I think at Castle Stewart, if I seem to recall.
Correct, yeah.
And then he wins the Open, the style of golf that you thought he was never going to be suited to. And I think, you know, Phil, he's a sort of great historian of the game as well. You know, just adores golf, and I think that was his proudest moment, really. To you know, adapt his game to links golf and come away as the champion golf of the year.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Oh, I've got goosebumps.
Was, yes.
Am I too close to you? Should I move slightly away? Is that better?
I don't know.
Okay.
However you're feeling.
Is that better? So
just keep some boundaries.
Okay, we have got cameras everywhere, as we've said over the last couple of days, unparalleled access. This is covering a major like no other. We've loved being on the range the last couple of days. It gets a little bit more serious now. We've got our reporter George Harper Jr. out on the course. We've got the guys in the commentary box. Who's in the commentary box this morning?
Good morning, Di. Richard Boxall here, and Simon Holmes alongside me. I must say, you have been doing your research. I've been very impressed with that.
Thank you very much.
And some of David's stories yesterday that came out were sent. Dave, I've known you a long time.
Being at Swindon service stations when he had a chance to win the Open Championship.
Swindon was fantastic, Dave. I mean, that was great. As I said, all the time I've known you, and I've never heard that story.
Well, it's very kind of you.
Do you want to remind us really quickly what that was about?
Oh, this is about me maybe making the playoff in the Open Championship at Birkdale and I'd left the course.
He'd left.
And you know, as what a clubhouse leader, that's the term, isn't it? And it took about 4 hours for someone to get past me, and I had to slow the car down because I was at a point of no return.
Okay, you have to speed up the story now.
Yeah, there we go. Let's move on.
Yeah, but you were happy.
Yeah, okay.
You were happy when Ian Poulter birdied, so that you didn't have to drive back to be in the playoff. Oh, Dave, sorry, we do love your stories, but
get to the point.
Yeah, okay,
get to the point.
We'll be back to commentary very soon. We're just going to have an argument here, but let's show you some of the best bits from yesterday. Sorry.
Where's the camera? Is it in front of me or behind me? It's one just in front of me, just there, yeah.
Look who's waiting right here. We got Francesco waiting. He's waiting to get in the locker. We'll let him go.
Come on, Franny.
Yeah.
Get in here.
See, unless someone has a last name between us, we're going to be sharing lockers here for a long time.
How do you feel about that, Franny?
For a long time.
Yeah, I'm happy to be next to Colin. It's a
lot
nice
older
spot.
You're a lot older than me. You know, it's okay.
All right, well, let's...
Always a compliment.
That's here. That is here. That is the clubhouse.
What a swing.
That is a great action. This is just a little bubba. Look at that. He's grown, hasn't he? Now he's 27 years old. Matt Jordan.
We've got a great match play battle here. Lowry, he's one up over none other than Mr. McIlroy. It's no Open Championship, but this is a big deal, these little haggles that you guys play, and you're one up with 2 to play, so...
Sometimes it means more to me.
Shane Lowry to halve the hole. Oh, stop it. That is seriously clutch. Oh. What an up and down.
Flashing?
Yeah, that was flush.
Cool.
He's just got a shirt on. I mean, he's really braving it out there, isn't he?
He's cool. So he's cool.
I've tried every kind of waterproofs, and I like the thin ones, the half sleeve one especially, but especially when it's not that cold right now, it's probably 60, 62 degrees. I just don't want to hear it. My first move away from the ball is a little bit of a slide, so I hear the crunch, and I'm like, oh no.
My goodness, you are tall.
Yeah, I get it a lot, don't worry, I get it a lot. Should be on camera more. Look at that, wow.
What are you doing this afternoon? What's happening?
I'm about to be late for my practice round, so I'll book another seat time.
Oh no!
Oh, you need your towel. Here, let me clean that for you. While
Oh yeah, do
let me finish my job.
You guys can be with me every time.
You're flashing, yeah?
I don't think I've flushed it this hard in a long time.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
I know what he's capable of. I know he's going to hit it. I just don't see the shot. But this is fun to watch.
Get over the corner.
So Brooks Koepka's morning session.
That
on
looks
the
like
left.
those sticks you put in those sort of potpourri thing, the liquid
Oh,
scent.
very good,
That's
Rob.
what that looks like.
All right, let me hit a stinger. Wait.
Okay.
Hold it.
Wait.
Love it. Love this. This camera might be in trouble. There you go.
Ah, there we go.
Well, we were all planning to get suits made.
Okay.
JT and I did that.
come
Jordan
inside.
didn't
Yeah.
end up getting one made. He caught a lot of flack for his suit looking a little wrinkled.
Yes.
But in his defense, it did look good. It was the car ride, sitting in there for an hour. It didn't do him justice.
He didn't think it through.
I need to wipe this guy down and just let it get soaked.
I think every amateur golfer at home watching can relate to you holding an umbrella right now with a towel, with loads of equipment. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck, buddy. Thanks so much.
Steve. Yeah.
Cheers.
Whew. This is a fun week, and it's only getting better.
Oh, some brilliant bits from yesterday. We've had a lot of fun, haven't we, on the range and out and about. It's been cool.
Yes, lovely. What a nice thing to do, yeah.
Yeah, certainly has. George Harper Jr., we just heard from him. We can hear from him again. He is... Where are you, George, in fact?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hello. We are at the players' entrance to the 151st Open Championship. This is where the hustle and bustle is. Everyone coming in and out. We've had some great names already on course today. John Rahm's here, Phil Mickelson, Tommy Fleetwood. Talked to Ian Finnis as caddy as well. Lucky Neiman's just walked in. It's an absolute circus out here. And it is very exciting to see. There's just a little bit more tension in the air today, you sense. Just that little bit more, because it's the final practice day. This is their last chance to soak up the course and check it out for the final time. Oh, speak of the devil. There's Fino. Good morning, Fino. You excited?
No.
We'll take that as a no. He's excited to be here, not excited to see me, which is very fair. If you come up here, mate. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, you want to keep going? Yeah, get out of here. I'll just hold you out. Harrison Crowe, good morning.
Good morning, mate. Absolute pleasure to see you.
Last day of practice, focus. So yeah, diet's pretty crazy over here, but it's exciting all the same, because you know that this is the last chance we've got to run around like headless chooks and try and talk to all your best players.
Oh, totally. George, what's been the favourite part of the last couple of days for you? I mean, you've been literally schmoozing with everybody.
Yeah, it's been great. I guess there's
How many steps? You got the step count in, haven't you, walking this course?
My step count, some 20,000 plus a day, comfortably.
Wow.
It's great. But you never know what you're going to get each day. It's hard to plan anything because the players don't know what they're doing most of the time. So we're just running around hoping for the best and then popping up on the right spot. So
and George, do you notice a difference in demeanour from yesterday to today?
100%. You can see the players are slightly more in the zone. Speaking of being in the zone, Alex McGuire, welcome back. How are you, mate?
All good, yeah. All good.
Your first Open. How much have you enjoyed the week?
Yeah, it's been surreal. Every single moment has been so cool, and there's plenty more cool moments coming up in the next few days, and playing with the Irish guys today. So yeah, just trying to embrace it all in and soak in as much atmosphere as I can, because it's only a week, but I'm trying to make the most of it.
Nice. We're just talking about the atmosphere as we move out of the way. There's a car coming. I think that's Shane Lowry's caddy as well. The intensity has just lifted a little notch today, isn't it? The last day of practice.
Yeah, like I mean, Monday is definitely a lot more relaxed, and then you get to the day knowing that tomorrow you're teeing off, and then I'll tee off pretty early tomorrow. So, look, you're just trying to get your last final preparations done and make sure you've got everything covered, and you're not getting any surprises tomorrow. Hopefully the wind stays the same, where it's not going to switch tomorrow. But yeah, you can sort of feel it's a little bit more serious now. All the players are getting in the routines and trying to take care of business.
Well, there we go. We'll let you take care of business, mate. You keep going.
Thanks, George.
A very late qualifier, so great to have him here after a superb amateur season thus far.
Is his dad there?
Joining his dad. Well, I heard he was crying on the range. Is that true?
He was. Sean, his dad, he was here, he got really emotional. It was, do you know, it was a really nice moment actually, George. But can you see him anywhere around?
No dad
You might
around.
not know what he looks like, so that might be quite a tough challenge.
Maybe he's been banned from the course. Too many tears.
Oh no, we love emotion. It's all about emotion, isn't it? My goodness.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, hopefully you don't get too emotional today, George. You've been doing a sterling job for the last few days. Get that step count in on today.
You know I'm an emotional kid. You know, it doesn't take much to tip me over the line, but I'm looking forward to, game days tomorrow. Maybe popping over the range and seeing you guys.
Great stuff, great stuff. The countdown is on. Thank you, George. 6:35 a.m. is the first tee off tomorrow. Reminders of the local lad who's got the honour.
Matthew Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes, what an honour.
Yeah.
I imagine growing up, making your way into the Open Championship, which he did in fine style at the qualifier just a couple of weeks ago. Big crowds there as well to cheer him on and get him through the qualifying there. And he's got the honour of that first tee shot, which is just going to be amazing for him.
Yeah, so he'll be up at what, 4 a.m? Because you had the first tee off in 2014. Did you get up at 4 a.m?
It started with 4. I do remember Jim Furyk hit first one year, and I happened to watch his interview because someone said, "What time did you get up?"
Yeah.
4 what? And he said, No. He says, "I've got a rule. It always starts with a 5." So he cut his warm-up short to get an extra 15 minutes sleep. But yeah, I was.
But surely you're like, oh, I'm just awake the whole night.
Well, when you're golfers, you don't sleep well. Very common thing. You're waking up out on the early tee time. Very few guys sleep well when you know you're getting up that early. So you are a bit restless. And,
is it the adrenaline that energy is just going to drive you through, the cortisol pumping through your veins?
Yes, you're not going to be, even if you have 3 hours sleep, you're not going to be tired on the course.
No.
Afterwards. You might be shattered. But
no.
yeah, it's a really weird thing that when that opening tee shot, because you the crowd, the grandstand, which is a lovely grandstand around the first here at Hoylake, starts to fill up. And I don't know, the spotlight's on you. There's no one else on the range, so the people that are here are just watching you practice.
Yeah.
And it all, for me, it just sort of added to the emotion of it all. And
totally.
It completely messed with my head.
Did you eat any breakfast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember what.
You kind of force it down, don't you?
Yeah.
I was interested to hear from Pete Cowan that said that Brooks Koepka, he's not really into food. He doesn't really eat that much on the course, and it's more about kind of refueling. Do you hear
protein
that?
Shakes.
On the course?
Probably.
Well,
yeah
maybe, or protein bars,
yes,
probably.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. We'll go and try and find out. In fact, it's made me really hungry. Can we go and get something?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, okay. Oh, thank you. Sounds like you're not going to come with me.
Well, no, you cut me off earlier. We're done.
Oh, right. There's something going on here. Okay, I'm going to go on my own, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes' time. Sorry, David.
We're told that the weather forecast for today is kind early on, with the possibility of some wet weather later.
I think Mother Nature kicks it up another notch.
Quite extraordinary. What a moment.
Doesn't work.
That's okay. Welcome back. Who are you having a chat with?
That was Stuart. He
Stuart,
looks
come
after
on.
the top tracers.
Come in, Stuart.
Come on in.
Hello, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. Good
Look
morning.
after the top tracer, do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So on the screen there, we can see the tracing. This obviously then helps the public to get an idea of the numbers, the tracking, the tracing. So we can put people out there with long drives. They can do the battle between two people. I know Shambo likes that. He likes to be top of the leaderboard.
I'm just having a look at these cameras up here as well. How many have you got up there?
So we've got 6 cameras in total.
Yeah.
We've got 1 over there on that one there, 2 there.
Yeah.
2 over on the other truss, and we've got 1 over there, so there's 3 systems.
Kev, our wonderful cameraman, was trying to follow your direction there, but yeah, I think we got it, Kev, did we? We got most of them.
You've got them all up there on the trusses, so they're behind, and they pick up all the tracing.
God, so much hard work goes into this, doesn't it?
It's the week before. The week before that you don't realise the guys putting all the cables in, rigging up all the system, so then we come, and then really our job is a bit easier to make sure that it's all correct for the players, they're in the right bays. And
top tracers.
Top tracers, amazing. Top tracer in the ranges. You know, if you go to a standard range, that's top
that's what
tracer.
we install. That's what I
think we should have the pirate ships and stuff on there, like the kids do.
Yeah,
with the goldfish.
That's what I want to see it. You know,
yeah, the tigerfish. Amazing.
Exactly.
250 points. So tricky to hit. That one
brilliant.
is.
So it's just saying that no problem at all. And so I think we're going to do the Ryder Cup as well. So
excellent stuff. Done a great job. Thank you. Good to know. And do you know what? It's added so much, hasn't it? Because it means the spectators in the grandstand can see exactly how far the guys are hitting it, speed.
Well, it is, but this technology has transformed anyone generally going to the range, you know, across the country. A lot of the ranges have got that technology now, and gosh, it does make it more interesting to know that you've just duff hooked your drive and it's only gone 87 yards.
I'm sure a lot can relate to that. We did see Stuart Sink, who's just left the range, a guy that a champion who you played with back in 2009. Am I correct?
I did. The first 2 rounds was amazing.
When
he won, and I've got to be honest with you, I didn't pick him as the winner after 2 rounds. I mean, he played nicely.
Yeah.
But I was going about my business, and he was in a nice position. But there was nothing about his game at that point that pointed in the direction as he might end up, winning the Open. And he obviously carried on just doing the same, and a little bit better the weekend, and an amazing moment for Stuart Sink. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, he played beautifully, by the way. I'm not saying he didn't, but went about his business, high draw, didn't change his game an awful lot from what he would have done in the PGA Tour. And, at the height of his powers, and Stuart at that time in his career, and he took down Tom Watson to, that moment.
It was one of those heartbreaking.
It was a bit like Rory holding the putt against Bobby Mack last week. It's like, well done. Yes.
But it just goes to show, doesn't it, how many different ways there are to win an Open Championship. Go about your business. You can go under the radar. I mean, Cam Young nearly did it last year.
Yes.
We're just hearing that George Hopper Jr. has found somebody. Who has he found? Oh, he's with the Ryder Cup captain, European Ryder Cup captain Luke Donald. George.
Yeah, hi guys, me again. And as we saw, lots of players arriving, but also this very special person, Luke Donald. Welcome back to the Open Championship arena. How's this interesting week been for you?
Yeah, different. It's strange being here as a non-player. Obviously different role this year. Just here for the practice days, just to be around some of the guys. Guys that I know will be on the team, the guys that are potentially looking to be on that team. So I think it's just good to... The schedule gets a little bit crazy after this. Europe, the guys in Europe have a few weeks off. The guys in the US will be probably getting prepared for the playoffs over in the US. So, it's a good opportunity this week for me to just be around the guys and keep those conversations going.
Yeah, it's a bit like us. You're sort of roaming around and bumping into everyone you need to talk to, isn't it? There's a bit of energy around. How close does this Ryder Cup feel all of a sudden?
Yeah, it's going to be here before we know it. It's been a nice long build-up. I've had this position for a year now, and the amount of work that goes into it behind the scenes is quite a lot. But it's been really enjoyable. It's been really focused me, and I've had so many great experiences in Ryder Cups, and to have the opportunity to lead Team Europe is really a big privilege.
This might be a weird one to ask, but what are some of the most unique things that you didn't think this role would provide? Some of those funny jobs that you're like, I did not see myself doing this as a Ryder Cup captain.
I mean, you have to think about all the little details, from the hotel, the rooms, the schedule of the week. you know, how are we gonna, you know, make the families feel like they're in a good place? Because if they're happy, usually the players are happy. So it's amazing all the little details you're trying to think about just to make the week memorable. You know, that's my goal, is to come Sunday. You know, obviously the goal is to win, but you know, I want everyone to leave with just the best experience, having the best week, and hopefully a winning week, get that cup back in our hands.
That would be fantastic. And what would it mean for one of your players to do well and maybe win this week? How much of a massive moment, and how big is it to perform in a major for selection purposes as well?
Well, as I said, you know, there's some guys that you know, probably booked their place already. They've been playing very consistent golf, but you know, I think there's some spots still open. You know, and this is a huge event. You know, the last major of the year. A great chance to shine and really make a statement for one of those places. So I'll be watching with interest.
I think we all will. Luke, thank you very much for the chat. Enjoy the day walking and roaming, and I'll keep an eye out for some players for you as well. Maybe give you a few selection options.
Keep me up to date.
Yeah, I'll keep you on your toes. Cheers, Luke.
Really good to hear from the European Ryder Cup captain Luke Donald there. My goodness, the countdown is on, David. Rome, September.
Yes, coming around fast, isn't it?
It certainly is, and so many players in contention for that.
There are big week, you know, on the Ryder Cup front this week as well. Of that, there is no doubt.
Got some stalwarts who will be playing. Bay 3, or is it Bay 2? Bay 2, Richard Bland, winner of the British Masters on his 478th attempt. I've just asked him his age. 50 years young.
Yes, he is getting on.
He was the oldest winner to get his first win, wasn't he?
Yes. Richard's a very good friend of mine, and I'm
You said he's getting on. Did
try
Richard
very
hear that?
hard not to be really mean to him. I've got to be honest with you.
Well,
you might need to lead this.
He completely flushed that.
Yeah, very good, Rich.
Blandy, can you come over? Sorry, you're getting a little bit of abuse from your mate here. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. Kind of like it to warm up a bit. As you kindly mentioned my age, my old bones don't work so well in this cold temperature.
Yeah, you're 50. 50.
I am indeed,
it's an age to celebrate. My mother said life begins at 50.
Wow.
Does it feel like that?
It began at 48 for Richard, let me tell you. Yeah, what a couple of years he's had.
Like you say, when it's cold like this, no, it doesn't feel like that. But no, it's been a great couple of years for me, so I can't complain.
Tell us about the British Masters. Just take us back, and my goodness, it's just so emotional. It still gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it's just you know, it's finally great to get over the hurdle. I know we had we still got it, haven't we? Our senior tour WhatsApp group, me, you, Ollie, and Maccas, and I was the only one with a 0 by my name, so it was nice to.
We didn't mention it much. I mean, only 4 or 5 times an hour.
Imagine.
But no, finally get across the line was great. You know, to do it at home in the British Masters, which is, you know, for us is a huge event. It was very special and something that, you know, obviously I'm going to remember, you know, for how many years I've got left.
Yeah. Well, hopefully a few more. Hopefully you're not going anywhere just now. But coming here to the Open, I mean, actually, you coached Tim Barter, saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the scenes with him. You know, he was really emotional.
Obviously, it was still during COVID, so it's unfortunate. You know, obviously my family and my friends would have been there if it wasn't. But yeah, to have Tim there was very special. You know, he's been there every shot of the way, probably felt them more than I have as well. So to have Tim stand at the back of the 18th green just made it that more special.
Yeah. Here at the Open, practice day 3. Tee off tomorrow. What time do you tee off?
I think I'm about 11 o'clock just after. So playing with Anton Rosner, who's we actually graduated in 2019 from Challenge Tour together. He's a really good player, very impressed with him. Not surprised that he's gone on and won multiple times already. And is it Lee Hodges from America? I'm not too familiar with him. So but yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, it's an Open. It's our major. It's the best major. It's the biggest major. So you can't not get excited for it, can you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just thinking about your career and the way you've been able to adapt to situations. Going back to the Challenge Tour, which is just a bit of a slog, uphill battle. I mean, it's not easy, is it? Travelling around and trying to scrape it in. Yeah,
especially doing it at 46.
It shows a lot of strength of character. On a serious note.
Yeah, I was always sort of of the belief that, you know, one bad season doesn't make you a bad player.
Yeah.
You know, suddenly it doesn't mean to say that you can't play the game anymore. And I knew that I still had something left. you know, there's a few people were telling me maybe that's it, maybe that's time to just to sort of, you know, hang them up. But I didn't think that for a second, and you know, and it's paid off. So
rather handsomely, I would suggest.
Well, I still wouldn't mind being a pound behind you in the bank, Howler, but.
Listen, life begins at 48, you know, and you're...
48.
So we're ready for the...
Still a couple of years behind. It's funny how that stays the same, always 2 years behind.
Yeah, so we're ready for your kick on and...
Well, that'd be nice.
You've shown me the way. At some points. Listen, let's see you strike one, because we've just seen you...
Well, let's have a look at his numbers. What's the numbers on the last one? What have we got?
A little bit high spin on that one.
Ball speed 165. I think you can do better than that, but you've had a rest for a while, so take it easy. Just ease your way back in. Ease your way back in. Oh, frozen rope, that one. Very nice, Richard.
Not happy with that one? No, we'll go again. Go again. You played the course yesterday? How many holes did you play?
I've played 18 on Monday.
Yeah.
The previous time I played before then was about 30 years ago in the British Amateur. Did you play that one, Howler?
I nearly won it. Lost in the semi-final.
Oh, dear.
There we go. Yeah, best thing that ever happened to me, actually. Managed to make my way onto the tour. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about Richard.
So,
it's a long time ago.
It is a long time.
Yeah.
I was planning on coming up on Tuesday, but I've been having a few right foot issues the last couple of weeks, so I decided to rest.
What's going on with the right foot?
It's a bit of that sort of, is it plantar fasciitis?
Yes,
which is
yeah.
quite
It's a bit
painful.
of that 50-something, you know, everything hurts. Carry on.
So I decided to just stay home and rest a little bit. So I'm going to go play 18 again now. I didn't play yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like you'd probably get too much out of playing yesterday in the weather. So I saw that the weather was going to be better today. So I'm quite happy just to play 18 today. And yeah, just get another look at it before tomorrow. So,
yeah, it's a challenge out there.
It is. I must be honest, I'm really impressed with it. I think it gives you so many options off the tee. If you want to play conservative, you can, but you kind of feel like it's wide enough to take the bunkers on if you want to. So I think you'll see different players adopting different strategies, and but me probably being one of the shorter ones, I'm probably just going to have to keep hitting the big stick all week.
Well, we will see how you go and try and hit those fairways, but hopefully you're not stiffing up in those 3 minutes, being 50 years young. Let's try again.
I probably have.
That was a beauty.
Yeah, a little draw, that one.
Yeah.
That's a swing that's never changed in 30 years. Quite remarkable.
Oh, great stuff. Caddy Guy, can I have a quick chat with Guy, if that's all right? How are you, Guy?
I'm very well, thank you.
How long have you guys been together then?
About a year.
Yeah.
Just shy of a year.
You've got the
That's a long time for
Liverpool
caddy
fan.
for Richard, by the way.
Have you got a tough job with this one this week?
No.
No.
No, just a nice, easy stroll.
Yeah, great stuff. Listen, if this wind blows, though, what kind of conversations will you guys be having? Will you actually listen to him, or does he listen to you?
You know, it's...
Well, the thing.
Yeah, I think the wind is pretty much where it was Monday.
Yes, it is.
So it's going to play pretty much the same. I think the weekend, I think it's due to switch. So, but I think with links golf, it's you just got to play what's there right in front of you.
What was that you were just doing there, Guy?
Not feel involved in it.
You've just got to play with what's in front of you. You
take the spin off.
I know yesterday, I think there was one par 5. I think we reached in 2, and they were having to lay up yesterday. I think it was at 14, 15.
Yeah.
So
And 18,
we played it straight downwind, and you know
Come
bunkers.
back on yourself,
yeah,
succeed,
almost the
don't you?
right bunkers are not in play, and yesterday they're struggling to reach them. So I think with links you just got to. Sometimes the yardage book's out the window.
Totally.
You just got to play what's in front of you and see and go from there.
What are you going to tell him on 17?
Well, if the wind's in us. Yeah.
No.
I was actually looking for somewhere for someone might have just played unbelievable golf all week, have a 3-shot lead, and until they walk off 18, they haven't won anything. But that's 17. I was looking for somewhere where you could you could actually lay up short right and have a chip straight up the green.
Ah, there we go. You're thinking the four-shot lead we're going to lay up.
Just hit it in the grandstand.
He's got no faith in you then whatsoever.
No, I'm talking for anyone.
Right.
Because it just would seem so unfair. You can take a big number there. It's
Yeah.
a little too severe in my book. But yeah, you'll be chipping something in there if the wind stays the same. Although Sunday I think it's supposed to be downwind, so it'll be a gap wedge for most.
Yeah, great stuff. I feel like you guys have got a really calm demeanour between you both. Never any arguments on the course.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I could give him 8.
Oh, 50, 58. Chaps, thanks so much for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it, especially the day before a major.
Thanks, Guy.
So great stuff. Okay, we were going to stay here and watch a bit more of Blundy, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes' time.
Welcome back to Live at the Range. Plenty of people now turning up on the driving range. It's a good spot to be, actually. If ever you recommend, somebody says, I'm going to go to the tournament, I'm going to go to the Open Championship, where should I go? Well, I'll tell you a good spot to go is the practice ground. Okay, we've had David and Di on the range. Now we're now going to pop down to George Harper, see who he's with.
Well, guys, a great start to the day already. We've made our way to the chipping green. This is where they come in, get their finesse sorted. This is where things start getting exciting and a little bit real. We're right next to the open clubhouse, so people always pop up and... Oh, here's Luke Donald. We talked to him before. And it's Sir Nick Felder. Excuse me, mate. Excuse me, mate. He doesn't need your advice, mate. Give him a break, all right? Sorry, Luke. Sorry, mate.
We're just working on the menus. That's the most important thing in the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Is all this beautiful food. That's all I'm going for. Yeah.
How are you, Sir Nick? Welcome to another Open Championship.
Yeah, cool. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Good atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've avoided the European heat wave.
As per usual.
I've got my Montana kit on to keep.
Yeah,
I've got my icebreaker. This is my vest that I wear in Montana, and this is keep me warm. So yeah,
well, you've had a recent move, haven't you?
Lucky I brought all the warm stuff with me.
How was life outside the golfing world, mate?
It's great. It's really great. It's a different world up there. We did the whole winter, 6 months of snow. I mean, real snow. Of course, they had record snow, and now they've had record rain in May and June. So I'm waiting for the rivers to clear. So I'm on the river. I've got a little bit of river. So
bit of fishing.
I keep looking at that and waiting for it to clear, and so we're a bit of luck by the time I get. Now we've got summer started. We'll be in the 90s already. So we're a bit of luck when I get back. The river will be clear, and I'll be fishing every morning. I'll go have a little fish. It'll be great.
Well, that's what we're talking about. We love that. We need to get you to New Zealand for some proper fishing.
I know. I haven't been for. God, time flies. I haven't been to New Zealand for 2000s. I think I was there last time fishing. I came down to Queenstown when I chop it out onto the Green River up the top there. Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Different world up there.
Yeah, well, different world taking the chopper as well.
Yeah.
But look, how nice is it to be back at another Open? You've won 3 of these things. How's everyone feeling in terms of on the eve? How are all the players feeling right now?
Yeah, you do. Well, everybody has their own way of preparing. Their last little bits. I mean, hopefully you know what you're doing and you're just messing around today, having an easy half day, save your strength. Practice rounds can be really slow. So most of the guys will do 9, find a way to do, a short loop or whatever, or go early and rest, whatever. Hey, and you know, and it's ever-changing wind here. That's the important thing. I think it's important to do more of your practice on the course than on the range, because you know we've had another 180 from yesterday. The wind was coming that way. Now that's west, which, and they then talked about the tournament might be first 2 days is south and then west. So you better prepare, because it makes a big difference off the tee shots where all that bunkering is. You're either in all the bunkers or 30 yards short of them or past them. So you've got to know what your strategy is, and you know, you got to have they call it the game plan now, don't they? We used to make it up on the tee. You go, what, you know. So yeah, I'm a believer in the now time. You make your decisions now. You walk on the tee, right, and you've got to know your angles here. A lot of green, a lot of kinks in the fairways, isn't there? That they turn a little bit, and the green turns the other way, and the bunkers are so different winds. You've got to know what you can do, where all the downslopes are on the greens, all sorts of little. So there's a lot going on. Yeah.
Has much changed from when you played here? I assume you've played.
I played. Thank you. I played with Tiger when he won, and I played with the first 36 for Tiger.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
So when, you know, the famous, when he hit irons everywhere, he only hit driver once. So
what was that like to watch firsthand? You're obviously focusing on your game plan, weren't you? Though,
yeah, exactly. No, it was pretty impressive, because he was twanging a 2-iron, which was the right way to do it, because it was a little burnt. Twang a 2-iron up there, and he was hitting a lot of longer shots in, but he was pretty darn good with his 4-iron in those days. He was a great. Him and Steve Williams are great green readers as well, because there's a couple of times I would look at a putt, and they completely read it differently, and which makes a difference, obviously.
It sure does. Now, a lot of people ask us all around, you know, who's your pick for the week? And I find it one of the hardest questions to answer, because golf's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? Especially at the Open.
It's so much can happen here the first 2 days. You know, you can get a break with the weather. You know, there could be one half of the draw could be rough. Don't know. Generally, I mean, if you get out first day, first morning, if you get a break, you can get a score and you can kind of keep going. It's kind of tough if you play Thursday afternoon and rough, and then you wake up and it's rough again. You can get that. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I'd rather they went through 36, and then you can really see what's, you know, how they're all mapping out.
It looks great, doesn't it? It's crazy that it's been a year since the 150th, the final major of the year. It's pretty unique and pretty cool stuff here at the Open, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, as I said, great atmosphere. I think the course, you know, it's just kind of a good old Open conditions. I mean, you want rough weather, not crazy over the top. But I think they're going to get that. They get a challenging week, one might say, something like that. You know.
You don't need to put on the accent, mate. You're very English yourself. All right, Sir Nick. Thank you very much for your time. Always a pleasure. And we'll come see you later in the week and see how that pick's going.
All right. More importantly, we'll talk trout. Okay.
Yeah, we can talk fly fishing.
We can talk fly fishing.
No worries.
Okay.
All right, we'll go back to talking fishing, and we'll catch you guys on the range.
Always nice to hear from Nick Faldo. I find him very interesting when he starts chatting about his experiences. Now, alongside the range there is the open zone. It's the Sky Open Zone, and in there is Henny and Alex Fitzpatrick.
Very much excited. You know, it's my first one, hopefully one of many. But yeah, super special to be the Open Championship, and you know, a lot of support and home crowd, and yeah, there was a lot of fans out there today, and it was only a Monday, so yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the week and see what it takes.
Yeah, super good. And when we first saw each other on the range, because you qualified to get into this week, and I said, how are you? And you said, I'm great. I could be playing Challenge Tour this week, but I'm here playing my first major. The Challenge Tour is a wonderful tour.
Correct, yeah.
But there's nothing quite like major championship golf. And a fun little stat for you is that the last time two sets of brothers played in the Open, it was 1886.
Oh wow!
137 years ago.
Oh wow!
So that's a nice little stat. For
yeah, that's
you.
a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll keep that one in the back of my mind.
Yeah. So you've got the whole crew here. We've got Mum and Dad that were enjoying the Sheffield United music, and you've got your brother Matt down on the range there. But none of that matters, because this is the important moment now.
The biggest
you are
part
going
of the
to
week.
take on the All Club Challenge. So we're going to get you to pick either club or distance first. Which one would you like?
I'm a little nervous. We'll do distance first.
Oh,
Club sounds more exciting.
like that.
Don't be too far.
So you have to hit something 110.
Anything?
Well, now we're going to find out what thing you're going to hit 110.
Be a 56. A 7-iron.
7-iron.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That could be worse.
No, that's pretty friendly, I feel
Is
like.
it a hickory 7-iron or is it a normal 7-iron?
No, normal 7-iron.
Okay.
Unless you super want to hit the hickory.
No, I'll pass on the hickory.
You can ditch your own one.
I like seeing ball go far.
That sounded quite caveman.
Yeah, sorry.
Want to see ball go far. Okay, talk us through what you're going to do with your 7-iron here.
Just try and chip it down there, basically.
Okay.
A normal one goes about 185. So I'll probably open the face and just try and cut across it a little bit and see if I can feel something close to 110.
A nice little buttery, feathery 7-iron.
Correct. Yeah. A bit of a finesse one, really, but this still could go 187.
I can't get the image out of my mind of you just being a caveman being like, gotta hit it far, 180. So the fairway is between 250 and the crane.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, so just 110.
Yes.
Oh, I've missed the fairway.
Right, but I think we've still picked it up. And that was very smooth. You were very controlled.
I thought that was how far away from 110 it was. I thought, wow.
Too smooth.
Go on, go!
97.
It could be worse. Have I not got it over 100 yards?
Do you want another go, or
Yeah,
do you
go
want
on.
to go with the hickory?
Go on, I'll have a hickory go.
Yeah, we'll do a hickory and see how that compares to your regular.
Which one's the 7-iron?
Let me explain.
Okay.
So this is the 1-iron.
Yeah, I'll not
6-iron. So these are the degrees back here. 39 degrees.
I could probably hit driver with how short they used to go. We'll go with a 6-iron and see.
I think this is like a sort of a 90, 80.
No, we'll do that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this one? Is this?
I think that's sort of like a 9, 8 iron.
I think my dad still uses these.
Dad's being thrown under the bus.
Yeah. Said you still use these.
Dad says, oh, very funny.
Wow, it's
They're from the 1930s.
It's just a spoon, this, isn't it?
Yeah. How's it feeling?
Not as good as the 7-iron, I'll be honest, but we'll give it a go.
Are you going to give this the beans?
No, not full beans at least,
Okay.
maybe half beans, but
half a can of beans.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sit. That could be good actually.
Yeah, I'm going to get the number in my ear. 119.
Yeah, I need a fresh set of these if they could still make them. It's better than my 7-iron.
We'll try and get that arranged for you.
Perfect, thank you.
Alex, thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us,
for having
and
me.
best of luck. Have a really good week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Simon, it's all getting a little close now, isn't it?
It is. The walk across the course this morning definitely had a sort of the fact that it grown 5 times since yesterday, Richard. You know, you talk to all the guys that are out there and they're organising. I was chatting to some guys from Northup Golf Club in North Wales. They're on the 5th. And they're so excited to be marshalling the course and just to be in the environment. The atmosphere is building, and for the players, they're definitely feeling it. It may have been a little bit of fun getting ready, but now what will the test give you out on the golf course? That's the question mark. It's like, what will the conditions combined with the way they set the course up? How am I going to have to play? That's still unknown.
Yeah, because, you know, you've been around the course a few times like myself, and it is actually playing quite soft, isn't it?
It is. I think that is right. I think that you've also got the wind to factor in, and that's going to change a lot of your decisions off the tee. That's going to be crucial. Yeah, so final prep. What clubs will I need? What lines will I take off the tee? It's a very interesting test. The rough is, you're not going to lose a ball, but I think you won't control your shots coming out, so I think that's a factor. There's enough bounce in the fairways that you will have to just hit the numbers, and this is all about it. So we've seen a lot of the launch monitors players using the launch monitors to work the number. So what you can do is you could input, for example, okay, I want to hit it 100 yards, and you practice your 100 yards, and you can sort of have a game. That's a game that he's got there. Just sort of, okay, what's my shot into the 6? It's 1. Okay, boom, I've practiced that, and I'm on this wind. So you are really using the technology, I think, to hone your feel.
It's quite remarkable what you can do, isn't it, nowadays? You can actually say, let's do the full 18.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the caddy's got his book there, and the player hits a shot, and you go, okay, no, you're 4 short, boss. Okay, well, you can't miss it. So remember, the bunker's on that front right bunker. You've got to carry that. They might put the pin there. So if we're in this position off the tee, are we going to go at that pin, or we're in this position of the tee? This is the one we really got to make sure we don't go at that, because the short side makes me automatically get a bogey. So you can see pins being placed in between bunkers. Distance to the pin, 74. So he's playing a scoring game there on his launch monitor, and just seeing,
you know, Simon,
Nick
Faldo once said that, you know, when because he was off late, I think it was Muirfield where he was playing, he said he was off so late, he said, I didn't really know what to do with myself, so I went up to the range, and Fanny and I, it was you that told me the story, stood on the course, stood on the range and said, let's play 18 holes.
Yeah.
Get the yardage book out, let's do it.
1992 Open, Muirfield. He woke up early. I was on the driving range with some of the guys in the morning, and I get this tap on the shoulder, look around, you've got this massive person. I think, I can't sleep. So do some bunker tests, have a putting competition, go and play the 18 holes with Fanny. In his mind, just go through it. Then he went back to have a sleep. Then he overslept, they had to wake him up. Oh, it was great, amazing victory.
But did he, on the range, did he go through every hole? Apart from putting, obviously.
Yeah, he would do that. I think Fanny was probably like one of the first, like, really, she was an amazing caddy, I think, and really she was out on the course all the time, walking the numbers, trying to understand where the yardages were. And Nick's game was all really built around be good off the tee and then be amazing from 140 yards and in. And he was, and then he was a big-time golfer. He could really just execute under pressure. He intimidated the opposition. He won 6 majors. 6 majors. Incredible. So Alex Fitzpatrick just working through his bag, honing his field, trying to find out, okay, what's 85? So what he's doing is he's picking a number, hitting a shot, and then judging to see if he's done it. Clean grooves, you see that? If you want to control the yardage, you better have clean grooves to get the launch and the spin right. So just working on some drills here.
Yeah, he qualified for this at West Lancs. Way back in, I say way back in July the 4th it was. That's when they played the 36th hole.
Here we go. Qualified away. Proper pair of shoes, that, Boxy. That is a proper pair of shoes.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange, isn't it? I always
play to live. That's a good motto.
I think when you follow through with your left side and the left foot rolls over, you almost feel like it's going to drop down to the floor a bit too quick. I like to heal. I like to heal in a soul. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're so traditional, Boxy. So here we go. Some funky shoes, but a great golf action. Close up of the hit on the ball. Ball first. Bang. Into the divot, that little hold off, sawn off finish. See that? That's a great way to do it. So not too handsy, controlling the speed with a turn, and double checking to make sure his number is tuned in. Maybe just thinking that the wind is, it's a weird wind. It's a different wind than we've had in the competitions of Tiger's win and Rory's win. That was a left to right driving range. We haven't really seen that yet, so that's
I think the breeze is going to change during the week. I think especially the weekend, I think it might turn around, sort of complete turnaround, I think.
Yeah, I think this is still what they would call like their winter wind, the one that comes off the sea. So that's going to impact the decision making. So you can see what he's doing there, really sort of using the hands to just hold the club and get the body to turn through the ball. That little sawn-off finish like a Tommy Fleetwood.
Do you think you do the full 18? Would you do the full 18 on the Wednesday, or would you? I mean, they'll throw 9 holes in somewhere along the line. Do you think today's the day for that?
You know what? I would probably, if I was playing now, I probably would want to go. I would want to go out just because I think yesterday would have wetted the course so much that what I did on Monday might not apply on Thursday. So I probably would be thinking, okay, you know what? There were 4 or 5 holes there that might be really changed, and so I want to go and have another look at that to make sure I've got the right club, I've got the right line. And, you know, the game is very much about navigating yourself around the bunkers. But I think if you're going to, and Tiger's strategy was really just sort of bunker avoidance, but I don't think anyone's going to play golf like he played it, because I think you're going to have to take on some of the bunkers to make a good enough score to win the competition.
I think all the players now, you know, especially if you turned up on Monday, excuse me, you are more than ready to go now. You just want to get going.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done, but you want to sort of you want the gun to go and get out there. But I do think there's a discipline to these 3 days, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like, how well have you learnt the course? How clear are the shots and the lines in your mind? The optics around here, because it's so flat, are very difficult. So that you're picturing your shot, and sort of, you see a lot of guys walking into the fairway and then looking back to the tee, or having their caddy stand on the tee so that they can see the lines and picture it and try to maybe pick out a grandstand or a TV tower to find your shapes. The fescue is quite high, and the paths are cut to the side, so it is kind of quite a blind shot that you've got. Your optics aren't amazingly good here at Royal Liverpool.
Very good point you make there, Simon. Nearly forgot your name then. It is Simon, isn't it?
No, yeah, anything.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Matthew Jordan, first off tomorrow, 6:35.
Yeah, amazing, incredible.
Member. Great idea.
Yeah, but I just think R&A's just, they get all that's just a detail that they've got right? It's just more thought than anything else. Right, this is an incredible event. You know, even if you're a non-golfer, it's an incredible event because it matters. The outcome really matters to the people in it. And so you watch people under pressure, and that's live sport. That's what we want to watch. So look at the grip there, a little interlock grip. Nicholas has one of those, Tiger Woods, and that's the golden badge. The blue and silver badge means that you are a competitor in the 151st Open.
They used to be round, you know.
They did used to be round, like their little sign behind. You see the 17 used to look like that,
right.
didn't it? Like,
yeah.
or the logo on the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you used to just put it through. It used to be a little. What do you wouldn't call it a needle, would you? What would you call it?
I don't know.
A pin.
It did have a pin at the back, and you just kind of put it on your hat, didn't you? Anyway, so here we go. Watching Alex Fitzpatrick just work through his numbers, working on his game. Might do a little practice swing here. So, a little bit fuller shots there. Very clean action. Check the number. Look at all of that. Amazing galleries. It's just filling up. It's a great place to be on the driving range. We've really put a lot of effort into bringing this excitement to you. There's a lot to be learnt from that. Matt Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick. So here we go. We use our top tracer technology to see Alex and Matt Fitzpatrick. There is their fireworks show of shots. Plenty of balls hit by the two brothers. A hard-working family. How about that? Foxy, that's a lot of golf balls, mate.
That's a lot of shots, isn't it? A lot of fairly straight ones there, I'd have to say, as well. There's a couple from Matt that have just eased out to the right wing there a little bit. But no, other than that, it's he's got, you know, a lot to follow, Alex, isn't he? With his what his brother's done.
Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, look at that. How about that? That's a long time ago. silver medal winner in the Open for the best amateur. And his brother caddied for him. Alex was the caddy on the bag. What golden moments now. Open, a US Open in the family. Can they add to an Open Championship? So
didn't he look young there? He looked like about 12 years old there, didn't
he still looks about 12 years old, Matt. Anyway, a hard-working family, great work ethic, and what they've achieved. Wake Forest University for Alex, the Demon Deacons, Arnold Palmer's University.
You talk about the grips, you know, you've got the overlap, you've got the baseball grip and the interlocking. From your experience of doing loads of teaching, what is the, you know, with these top players, what is the favourable grip?
I think probably the overlapping is probably more favourable. I think you know, the idea is that, you know, Nicholas always said he had quite short fingers, and so he found the interlock a little bit better base. The key with the interlock is to make sure when it does interlock that it doesn't dig in too much. So you don't want to have sort of it trap in there and get too tense. So it's quite light, that interlock.
Yeah, do you think people learn it? I mean, I can only go back on what I did, and as my father used to have an interlocking grip, and I wasn't shown anything else. He just said, "There you go, that's how I grip it. You do that." And I know, and I actually putted like that as well, interlocking grip.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, just getting your hand. I think that getting your hands on the club 25 to 30 years ago was something that was very important. But if you look at Morikawa, Hovland, Jordan Spieth, there's a lot of amazing golfers who've got, like, what I would describe as quite messy looking grips. So I think you've just got to, it's almost like nowadays in the pro game, get your hands on there, hold it as hard as you can, and then hit it as hard as you can, and then we'll figure out the rest of it after that.
That's right. That'll be 1,500 quid, please.
That's right, an annuity. Here we go. So, Fitzpatrick, Alex, clipping a few away. So, grips are interesting. Interlock for Alex. Has that kind of little... Oh, now who's that?
Who is that?
Oh, I'm going to go Scheffler. Oh, with a grip reminder. Is that Scotty Scheffler? So that's a little sort of a mould that's on there to maybe get your right hand. Oh, yes.
Oh, do you know what? And for people listening, the producer didn't even tell you that in your ear.
No.
I'm impressed with that.
So
director did though, but there you go.
Muppet. So Scotty Scheffler, that's interesting. So a little grip reminder. Let's have a closer look at that. Trackman is slowly coming out. Just to test some numbers. Oh, the green one for the Masters champion. How about that? Ho, that's pretty cool. Yeah, great. Scotty Scheffler, what a player. When he was on a run, it was just amazing. Like, everything he did was just turned to gold, wasn't it? So the putter, one club in his bag, frozen, ice, making nothing. So the Scheffler game is on a pause until he can fix. The Scheffler winning column is on a pause
He's
until...
still fairly good.
Oh, he's
I have to
amazing.
say.
I love watching him play. He's like one of sort of big, desperate Dan, like that massive sort of jaw. You know, remember that? Just like that cartoon character. Very gentle. Oh, there it is.
Yes, that's what the old players look at. They look across and see what's going on.
Yeah, all the numbers. So we are collecting. So you can see you've got a little competition there between Maronk, Mr. Lawrence, Scotty Scheffler, and Taylor Gooch, just clipping some numbers away. So it gives a little bit more data to the viewers, and the players will look over their shoulders to see, because this is, you have sort of normalized data and unnormalized data, and what that means is basically like you can have an algorithm that runs on your launch monitor take away the wind, so as if you're hitting in a dome, and then you can flip that back off again to see the impact of the weather and the conditions, etc. And so that's helping you to gauge what you would do in a dome versus what you are actually doing in real life. So, and especially when you go onto the links. So, iPad is just getting loaded up. So Scotty would be probably looking to hit. He might have a few key things that he's working on, maybe a bit of attack angle, maybe a bit of face to path, the spin axis, launch, etc., etc. And then he might be just working through his numbers.
Yeah, I still for me, found it quite astounding how much gear is brought onto the range. I mean, who would have said 20 years ago, oh, by the way, you'll have an iPad and you'll just bump a few numbers in and then you'll hit a few wedges and you'll see how far they're going. You wouldn't have believed that.
No, it's amazing. And I mean, the machine that's running there is got 2 Doppler radar systems. So it's actually the technology that comes from tracking missiles, and it's been adapted to track golf balls. So, it's just fantastic, isn't it? I'm such a golf geek.
But all this sort of stuff, how much has it helped your teaching, Simon?
Well, I think that what it does is, I don't think it can guide the teaching, but it gives amazing feedback to the player of how. So if I adapt like this, so you're saying to me, get the club face a bit more open or something like that, and then you can show like that. Okay, that was 2 degrees more open, so that feeling was 2 degrees open, and we want 4 degrees, so you've got to do it a bit more, right? So it's a very fast way of helping someone to find the right feel and adapt their feel. Golf is very much adapting all the time. It's a continuous adaptation, right? And what you're trying to do is to find the feel in your body that gives you the shot that you need at that time. So Scheffler, the thing that is really remarkable about him is the footwork. So what you're basically seeing here in Scotty Scheffler's swing is like a really very strong lateral drive. So he's creating a very strong lateral force. So high hands driving down the target line, and what that does as he's compressing it and his hips work laterally towards the hole, you're going to see that left foot really move dramatically over. If you were watching yesterday, you would have seen Jordan Spieth's foot roll over, but this is rollover on the juice. So, you know, you're going to see the right foot then kick in behind his left foot to balance him. So the left foot kicks, and then the right toe hops in behind him. And as he gets into the longer clubs, it gets more. So here we go. Here's the numbers. That might be a 7-iron, just clipping that away. Randy Smith having a look at the swing.
You hear a lot of caddies and the players when they do, you know, when they're on the course, and the caddy will turn around to him and they say it's a 10 o'clock wedge, you know, which basically means look at the clock face and swing it up to 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, do you use that a lot in your?
Yeah, it's
in your
interesting. You know, some people do really well with that. Other people, for them, they get very handsy. So another way of doing
it. Is that a pun, as it's 10 o'clock, you know,
yeah,
it's handsy?
Yeah, so I like it.
Like
wasn't. You're very cryptic. So like 10 o'clock, so like if you think about it, so 12 o'clock's all the way high hands, 10 o'clock shorter and wider. Oh, brand new kit. Oh, just checking it out. Is that no one likes playing in rain tops, so
I couldn't bear it.
Finding a rain top is a catastrophe always. So so another way of doing it is just measuring your club head speed, becoming sensitive. So let's suppose your fast swings an 80. Oh, here we go. So nice steep shaft. See the club head really stay outside of his hands. Hands are going to go just a little bit higher. Oh, this is just a wedge, a little bit higher than that shoulder plane. And now there's a force. The hands drive straight down towards the ball. So they're very, very strong lateral force. And then the body basically reacts to that. So it's a big move, isn't it? Very big dynamic move. So we're talking about the left foot as he starts down, kicks and rolls lateral, and then the right toe comes in behind him. So amazingly well captured by a genius, a cameraman. And there it is. How about that? Incredible, isn't it? That's his balance.
You know, golfers have different bone, a different shape of bone in their left tibia fibia.
Yeah,
when I broke mine, I went back, and the guy said to me, excuse me, the guy said to me, the orthopedic surgeon, he said, I want you to, when it's still broken, I want you to hit golf balls. I said, what? He said, I want you to still hit golf balls. He said, because I want it to twist back into the right shape that it was before. You believe that? You're looking quite ill when I say that.
I'm not sure if I'm good with that. I would not be a good doctor. Here we go. So, Scotty Scheffler, are you going to be our Open champion. You're certainly in the hunt, without a doubt, one of the best players under pressure. Cantlay on the other side. It all looks pretty relaxed and pretty slow, and all it is just managing the nerves. For some of these guys, it's 24 hours or less before they get going. So, Scotty Scheffler just cruising it out. So very interesting to see. That's a grip reminder that's on there. And so what it does, it's a mold which helps you to put your left hand and your right hand into a position. So that's
what would they be, a 6-7 iron?
I think probably a 7 iron, Richard. And what it is, he must be just trying to move maybe the right hand a bit more on top of the club to neutralize it. Maybe feels as though that right hand gets underneath. It's very interesting to see that just a few minutes before, Jamie Mulligan in the hat with the V on it. That's Patrick Cantlay's coach. So there it is. It's a big action, isn't it? It's not like if you've got compact actions, and then you've got like just a massive swing at it. So, you know, you look at Patrick Cantlay next to him, just to the right there of Scotty Scheffler, and you just think it's very much a tempo-driven swing. There's Cantlay in the blue sweater, just cleaning off his club. Next to him, Scotty Scheffler.
You know, the range at the Open was always quite a... It was something you actually looked forward to very much, rather than you were playing in a tour event where you just... the humdrum of going down the range. This was actually quite exciting because they would give you a selection of golf balls. What would you like to hit, Richard? You know, well, I'd like to hit it properly to start with. But what golf balls would you like to hit? You know, and you'd say, type this Pro V1s or whatever, and off you go and hit a few of those. And everything was so neat and so tidy and classy.
Yeah, but this is like there are golf tournaments, and then there's the Open Championship, and it's not the same. So it's just everything is, you've got amazing, and then you've got the Open. So Cantlay, let's have a look at that. Very stable, kind of looks slow, arms hang a little bit more away from him, so they go for around his body. And it's more balanced, isn't it? The end is really very, very stable. And then you look at Scotty Scheffler. That's so interesting to have that grip reminder on there. So right hand covers over that left thumb. Hitting balls with it on there. Just trying to maybe control a little bit better the club face. Joey LaCava in the background. Great caddy. Now with Patrick Cantlay, formerly Freddie Couples, Tiger Woods. Incredible support. Some guys keeping it loose. Tension avoidance. There is tension. And soon it's going to get poured on. All the taps will open up as we work through the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the final round, Richard.
Yes, the Claret Jug, the champion golfer of the year. Long way to go till that, though. 6:35 is first off tomorrow, and it's Matthew Jordan, a member from this golf club. Played all his junior golf up here and played with all his mates up here. Had a great lot of fun, so knows the course very well. That can be an advantage, it can be a disadvantage sometimes, but it's a real honour and a privilege for him to be pegging it up at 6:35 tomorrow. And he'll feel more pressure, a little bit more pressure on that than he would if he was playing at 11:10, let's say.
Oh, yeah, massively so. Oh, I think it's a huge honour, right? It is an honour, and just watching Scotty Scheffler working through a drill, just
seems to take it a little on the outside to start with there, Simon.
I think it's an interesting backswing. So it's very powerful. It's a very high hands, quite across the line. So it's steep, and it has a very lateral drive. So it's almost like it's steepening, and the more it steepens, what he's got to do is keep moving forwards, like gliding or driving forwards laterally, to stop the club head going past him. So it's his own action. Randy Smith, great coach out of Texas. He's actually not been well, so I hope Randy is in good form. Send him our love from the Open Championship. Okay. High hands, strong lateral drive. And there you've got the swing of Scotty Scheffler, a man who was just absolutely on fire. But unfortunately, this year, a stone-cold putter.
But still playing not too bad. You've got, as I said earlier, gets that putter going. Watch the man in the middle of the screen. Nice to see big crowds out here finally in the...
Yeah, it's
in
amazing.
Stand, that's the word I'm looking for.
I came in through a different entrance today. I came in through sort of like the second and walked through the course. Saw Andrew Coulthard out there walking the course, and the place was packed. 17 packed. There you go. Look at that.
The great thing about coming to the range, you know, is if I would tell anybody, if you go to a golf tournament, you go to the Open Championship, you must go to the range, because that's where you can see everything.
Yeah,
from the
you
putting.
just, you know, yeah, you go and watch the golf course, you might see 2 shots in 15 minutes. You watch this, there's so much to see, you can't take it in. So, yeah, maybe follow your favorite player. If you're a young person, copy those swings as the guys grind it out, hoping that this is their week.
There's the breeze, a little bit from right to left. We've got Di down there. Let's see what she's up to. Over to you, Di.
Right, okay. Oh, thanks, Richard. Hi. We're in Bay 10, and we're with Adrian Moronk, the winner of the Italian Open just a few weeks ago. Good to see you, Adrian. Hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
Well, very good, thank you. Very good. We just mentioned your Italian Open victory a few weeks ago. Must feel good after that.
Yeah, it felt really good. I mean, it still is. It's been a little bit of time since then, but yeah, the game feels good, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good 12 months. A couple of wins, one down in Australia. So you've got 3 wins under your belt. Feeling pretty good about your game right now?
I am. Yeah. It's been very busy lately for me. Last couple of months, just a lot of traveling and stuff. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to break after this week, but I'm gonna give my all this week, and looking for a great week.
David, you guys have played together.
Well, I first played with Adrian. We did a golf day in Poland. Yeah. And the big man was hitting it 100 yards past me. You weren't on tour at that stage. I think you were playing Challenge Tour, maybe.
Yeah, that was like
hang on.
5 years ago or something.
Yeah,
really?
So this could be someone a bit special. Turns out he is. Yeah.
So you were working at a golf day?
We did a golf day,
right.
And we played a few holes in an exhibition. Yeah. And he was like 50 yards past me. Like, oh, not another one.
Another one.
Yes. Oh goodness me. Anyway, I think I hold a couple of long putts to keep him down.
I think we tied that.
Was it? I thought I beat you.
Oh,
but you beat me every time since for 5 years, so well done you.
Oh, we played quite a few times on tour.
Yeah. Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
Well, I know, because we played together in the BMW PGA Pro-Am.
Oh, very nice.
We didn't win, though, did we? But we played with Kevin Peterson and Will Greenwood that made our 4. And yeah, so I saw, I had great viewing of your game. It was brilliant to watch. And coming here to a major championship, is this third Open?
Second one. Last year was my first one, so this is
the
my
150th.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a great First one for me at
Yeah.
St Andrews. Also played Tiger 9 holes on Wednesday, so that was great memories for me. But yeah, I'm excited to play my second here.
What did Tiger say to you during those 9 holes?
We just chatted about the golf course at St Andrews, a couple of different lines, and how to putt in the wind.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of just basic stuff. Yeah.
What was that? What
was it?
Yeah, what was it? How'd you putt in the wind? I'd like to know.
We'd all like to know.
He just said that he waits for like a gap in the wind and just try to time the gap and just to hit the putt as when the gap comes. But it's just it's such a basic advice, but you never really think about it.
Yeah.
That's a really good tip to everyone watching.
We'll
it might
we'll
slow play down
that.
a little bit, though.
We'll
I'm
be
not
watching
sure.
for that this
Don't
week.
wait too long, though. Don't wait too long.
Penalised for waiting.
Exactly.
But the feeling here on the range, it's Wednesday, and it's great to speak to you because obviously tomorrow it's game time. What time is your tee off tomorrow?
7:19, bright and early.
doors.
Yeah.
So who are you playing with?
I'm playing with Pablo Razabal and one of the Japanese guys, which I don't know yet.
So if it's 7:30ish, what time are you get up? Because David took the first tee off here in 2014. He was 6:35. He got up about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wake up around 4:30, 4:40. Yeah, I usually try to wake up around 3 hours before tee time.
Yeah. And your coach is here, once again. And Stuart's here as well, your caddy. I remember Stuart from Wentworth. How are you doing, sir?
Well done, yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good. Let's have a look, see if Kev can get in here and see the yardage book. What's going on? What hole have we got there? The first?
No, it's hole number 8.
Oh,
yeah.
8. It says 8, yeah.
Yes. So I've just made some notes where the good leaves are, where's good spots to hit off the tee, where the heavy rough, light rough. Just generally trying to get as much information as I can for the week ahead, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And where are you aiming to hit your drive here?
Yesterday we hit drive. Wind was helping down off the right though, into off the right. So today it might go slightly less, depending, playing a bit more downwind today.
Yeah.
So maybe the 3-iron or the 3 wood.
3-iron. Can we have a look at your 3-iron? Is that okay, Adrian? There we go. Have a look at that. You enjoy that club, do you?
I do. I think David would agree with me that it might be quite handy for this week. Just keep it low on the fairway, just keep it running.
Yeah. There's a lot of chat about 3-irons, 2-irons this week, driving irons,
Yes,
David.
and most of the year, you won't use a 3-iron for most of the year, will you? Yeah, just the hybrid with 4 wedges, but this week in comes the 3-iron.
Anything else that's different at all?
No, it's pretty standard setup, so we normally just alternate between the hybrid and the 3-iron, depending on the course.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And do you get on?
Sometimes, yeah. No, we work quite well together, and it's been a nice few years, yeah.
Great. Let's speak to Matthew as well, your coach, who doesn't want to chat to us, but reluctantly will. Matthew, I mean, my goodness, what a talent he is. What are you doing today with him?
Just basically going over the basics, reinforcing the main points that we've been doing for the last 5-6 years, really. It's I'm sure, David, once you get further up the mountain, it's more about doing the right things the right ways all the time, and kind of doubling down on what we do really well.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's not been my experience. But anyway,
so that's another story. Can we see you hit one? Is that all right? What have you got in your hand? 3 wood. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what exactly?
So
what will you be saying?
Key things we focus on is obviously, because he's so tall, posture is everything.
Yeah.
So his balance and things like that. So. He's got his usual foundational pieces that we look, so sticks are on the ground for alignment, ball position, so we make sure that they're all correct and things like that. And then he's got his telltale little top of the backswing, which confused you guys for a while on TV, which he's done for, I think this is our 14th year together now, so he's pretty much done it.
Oh wow, look at that.
Most of the time.
Look at that.
The closest I get to doing that is on a PlayStation.
Same. Some good results of late as well. I just want to point out the KLM. It was top 5, was it? And
yeah, that was a great performance considering he just come back. I think it was the USPGA the week before, so it's tough to fly across the pond and back in a week and then perform the way he did, and it just shows, I think, his maturity now as a player of gaining that experience and just. Turning up and doing these foundational pieces and these basics over and over again allows him to kind of do that because there's nothing new to really work on.
Yeah.
He just turns up, does his thing, and then hopefully everything goes to plan.
Yeah. A couple of top five since that win in Italy, and great to have 3 under your belt. Yeah, David, over to you.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
Yeah.
In the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, goodness me, you must be pinching yourself.
I'm incredibly proud of him. You know, it's like, you know, when I saw him, was it 14 years ago now when we started, I saw him hit 5 balls and I went, we got something, yeah?
Wow.
I just knew.
How did you get together?
I used to work for David Ledbetter.
Yeah.
I was in Asia for 7 years and then I wanted to come back to Europe, and opportunity came at an academy in Poland and he was a junior member there, and I saw him hit 4 balls and he had that sound that we all
Yes.
that's different, and it's like, then I had to try and think of, okay, let's see what we can do, and then I had to go home one night and think, how do I not mess this up?
But you didn't. You didn't. Well done.
Matthew, thanks for chatting to us. I know it's always sort of, we just arrive and on a Wednesday just before a major, but I could literally stand there all day, David, watching
It's
that.
a long way for a 3 with that, doesn't it? Goodness me.
Thanks,
Lovely.
Adrian. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And 7. What was it tomorrow?
7:19.
7:19 tomorrow morning.
Have a good week.
Can't wait. Yeah. We'll see you Sunday. Yeah. Great. Thanks, Matthew. Thank you. Stuart, best of luck. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Let's head over to George. We're going to stay here for a little bit longer. Over to you, George.
Hello guys, how's everyone going? I'm back down at the open clubhouse where there's plenty of action, players coming left, right and centre. So we're going to go back to our favourite chipping green where seems to be a few players. My pass?
Yeah.
Oh mate, I'm on camera right now, is it okay or is it?
No.
No pass? Mate, have you seen that new house of it? Alright guys, we've made it inside. Wasn't easy, but we've got here. Oh, we got that. Oh, defending champion Cameron Smith is in the house. Looking dangerous. The crowds are here getting excited. Whose is this lovely bag? Very colourful. Oh, we got Richie Ramsey here. Making a mess of the sandpit, Richie.
How we doing?
How are you? Great
Good,
to see
good.
you. Welcome to the Open. How are you enjoying the week, mate?
It's great. Obviously, it's the Open. You know, you don't need to say much more than that. Just trying to get some practice in, get dialed in, and then plenty of energy. It's an early start tomorrow with Matty Jordan and Brandon Grace first out.
Yeah, how cool is that? The first out, that's the best way to go, isn't it?
Get out, fresh greens. I think getting out of bed's going to be the hardest thing, really, because it's going to be like a 4 a.m. alarm probably.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Yeah, like I say, fresh greens. Hopefully, maybe the wind lies down a little bit, and then post a number, get in there, coffee and lunch, wait for the wind to get up.
Yeah, nice. How does your body clock change throughout the week with all these different tee times? Is that a little battle of your own, or?
I'm always looking like 8.5 hours before when I want to get up.
Right.
So like, you know, I'm kind of thinking 7:30 bedtime tonight, or early dinner. You know, have dinner at like, let's say maybe like 5, half 5, and then luckily I can sleep anywhere. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
But it's just getting the rest in, because if you want to be in contention, you're going to use up a lot of energy mentally and physically. So it's get your rest in, and then hopefully the game comes together, and then you've got the fuel to be there on Sunday afternoon.
I'm very jealous of your sleeping patterns. I'm not very good at that part, so I'd take that part of your game probably more than the golf. But mate, look around. How special is this week? Isn't this just amazing to sit up here?
It's cool. I mean, obviously fantastic short game area, and then the structures, the stands, especially you look at 18, you know, it kind of circles the whole green. And walking up there yesterday, it was really cool. I was fortunate I played well at Birkdale. Just iconic, you know, you've got the yellow leaderboard. I remember walking up there and just like, you know, packed stands, people on the ground as well, and what a feeling. And everybody knows they want to be, you know, the champion golfer of the year is this person, and it's a great test of golf out there. You know, you're going to have wind different directions. You're going to have a lot of holes that change directions. It doesn't give you time to settle. Also, you got pot bunkers. You've got to manoeuvre around there. So you got the elements, the course, everything adds up to a great week.
Nice. Well, we wish you all the best, mate. It's been a while since you're Scottish champion, so
Cheers.
good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks for the chat.
Have a good one.
Cheers, boys. Well, let's keep going around. There's so much going on here. This is when things start to really heat up. A couple of Australians over here. Let's go have a sneak peek at our defending champion, see what he's up to, see what he's working on. Plenty to work on, did you say? Oh, there he is, in full flow. I remember this time last year, talking to him before the final round. What a special round of 64 it was. Jeez, that was close, Cam. Now, Cameron Smith's been avoiding me ever since St Andrews, ever since his win. He's one of the only one I haven't interviewed this week. So he's doing very well indeed. All you have to do is talk about rugby league with him, and that sort of grabs his attention a bit more after a big Queensland win. There he is, he's smiling. I'm in his head. Look at that, just clipping it so nicely. You ready? You ready? You want to do it? Yeah, we got him. Come on, I want to hug. There you go. Well done.
Thanks.
How does it feel to be a defending champion back at the Open?
It's good. It's a good thing, isn't it? It's going to be a tough test though out there this week. We played 9 holes this morning in the chilly, windy stuff, and it was pretty brutal. So don't think the winning score is going to be nowhere near as low as last year, but I guess we'll wait and see.
And coming back as a defending champ, we saw you give the claret jug back and all. A lot more handshakes than normal, is it this year? What's it like being a defending champion?
Yeah, probably a few more obligations, I guess, but it was actually tougher than I thought giving the thing back, to be honest. It was kind of crept up on me. I didn't really know what to think of it, and it feels like I only had it for a few days and I had to give it back. Last year's gone so quick, so yeah, want to get it back.
Well, to get it back, the short game's obviously an important part, and a part of the game you love as well. How important is it around these links courses?
Yeah, a lot of the greens are actually like this, kind of raised up pretty steep, and then generally like pretty flat on the green. So there's not a lot of stuff on the green, but around the green is can be pretty brutal. I think you'll see a lot of guys, not only in this stuff, but in that longer fescue stuff around the green, it can get pretty gnarly. So yeah, lots of times around the green.
How's that flat stick of yours going? That created a bit of a storm at St Andrews in the final round. Was running red hot. Still the same form, you reckon, this year?
I hope so.
Wasn't bad, was it?
Nice.
Whew, what a clinic. All right, Cam, we'll let you get back to it, mate.
Thanks.
You've done
Cheers,
well.
mate.
Great to see you again, as pleasure.
Thanks, mate.
As always, not as pleasure. And you've obviously got a New Zealander on the bag this week, so that's how you stay calm throughout. All right. We've pestered him enough, so it's probably about time for an ad break. Thanks very much, boys. Good luck, and we'll see you later.
We're told that the weather forecast for today is kind early on, with the possibility of some wet weather later.
I think Mother Nature kicks it up another notch.
Quite extraordinary. What a moment.
minute.
Welcome back to Live at the Range. David's just having a chat with anyone that walks past, and we're here till 6 o'clock tonight, day 3. It is the final practice day before the Open Championship gets underway tomorrow morning. 6:35 is the first tee-off time. David, the last tee-off time is 4:16 p.m. It's a late one, and I think Marco Penge is in that final group, and Marco is meant to be on his honeymoon this week.
Oh,
so
really?
his wife is here, Sophie, and this is where they're spending their honeymoon. What a great place. Please let us know if you're spending your honeymoon at the Open Championship here at Royal Liverpool. In fact, you could tweet me at DiceStewart79 and let me know, or you're here for a birthday, whatever. But it's a fascinating story. Am I digressing massively?
A little.
Yeah.
A little, but that's okay.
Penge 4:16 honeymoon period. Will it be celebrations at the weekend? We're looking at Bay 22 because Joost Luiten is in Bay 22. You played with Joost at the BMW International Open. How many weeks ago was that?
Oh, it was about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. He was brilliant.
Was he?
Yes. He played the first 2 rounds. He was just about leading, or maybe was leading. Didn't manage to win, came second in the end. But goodness me, his iron play was absolutely sensational. Very unfortunate not to quite get the job done and get the victory. But yeah, he's been playing really well all year. Joost, he really has.
Multiple winner on tour.
Indeed.
Seen
Had a
him.
little lull a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Started to struggle again and has turned things around absolutely beautifully.
Here with his caddy.
Martin Gray, yes, one of the veterans of the DP World Tour caddying scene. Nice job. Worked for me a couple of times, actually.
Martin, could we just have a quick word? Would that be all right? Just been described as a veteran.
A veteran? I guess so. Been out here over 30 years, so yeah.
You caddied for this one as well.
I
Was
did.
that how
Yeah.
did that go?
It's very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Was he
Interesting.
okay to work with?
Interesting.
Interesting, actually, because he did the old magic disappearing ink trick on me. When you mark your balls with a Sharpie.
Yes.
And we were playing Preferred Lies, and I hit it down the middle of the Valderrama on our first hole of the day, and he gave me the ball back, and I got to the green. I said, Martin, there's no markings on this ball. He said, it's definitely your ball, just carry on. So we told our playing partners, didn't want anything to go wrong.
Yeah.
And then I changed ball, and I teed off the next hole, the 11th, and we got up near the green, and I Preferred Lied it. And he gave me the ball back, and there were no markings on the ball. By which stage, we're absolutely terrified. I'm shaking like a leaf, trying to putt
And
on
I'm
those greens.
quite calm because I'm experienced.
Yeah. Good.
So I said, what's happening? And then he walks off the green and he says, I've worked it out. I'm not using a proper Sharpie and I'm wiping the ink off on each time.
Disappearing ink.
Can't-
Disappearing ink.
I can't believe it. That was.
It's all David's fault. Though.
It's it always is. Always. Joost, he's finished now. I'm enthralled in that story. But shall we have a chat with him?
Yes,
He's
Joost.
coming. What's this? What breed of dog is this, Joost?
This is a Boer Bull, South African breed. It's actually made after my dog, so it's called Bunker, and this is pretty much as close as they tried to make him look. So
Wow.
What a great name for a dog, Bunker.
Great name. What's your dog called? Your dog's called Bunker.
This is my this is Bunker.
But your real dog?
Yeah, Bunker.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so he's named
It's slightly slow. It's Wednesday. What time is it?
It's a funny story because at the time it was my caddy Martin, not this Martin, but another Martin, and we just had a puppy, but we hadn't had a name yet. So I
Right.
phoned him up. I said, yeah, we're thinking of calling him Bumper. But he thought I said Bunker. He said Bunker is a great name.
Oh, I see.
And then I
So
said,
it
that's
came
it,
from that.
Bunker. So that's basically, he came up with the name. And we just called him Bunker, and he's like 60 kilos. So it's a real bunker as well. It's a real strong.
Great. So
strong
he can
guard
keep
dog.
you company on the course this week.
Yeah, so I always have him with me now.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant
so I don't
stuff.
have to miss him.
Good. Yeah, lovely. You need some company.
Yeah,
Well, you've
I
got
mean,
Martin and
sometimes
Bunker on the course.
Yeah, but I mean, Martin is not great company, to be honest.
he not?
I rather cuddle with Bunker.
Oh, Martin, you're not great company. He's yes to say.
He looks really soft, but his
Yeah.
personality is really hard.
Is
so,
it? Does he tell you off?
Yeah.
Do you actually listen to him?
I shouldn't, but I do.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be listening to him, but sometimes I
Well,
do.
I think
and
he's
that's
helped
not
you a
good
little
thing.
bit of late.
But I mean that's the job he's got. It's not an easy job being a caddy out here,
No,
I guess.
it's
So
not.
it's he tries hard. He means well. I think that's really important.
And he's here.
He's a trier. He's a real trier, Martin.
You're a trier,
I
Martin.
don't mind that, being
No.
called a trier.
Yeah, good stuff.
Better than
No.
being a non-trier, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. But it is. Do you know what? It's a fascinating dynamic between player and caddy, and you've got to get it right because you don't want a personality clash, do you? You don't want someone that's going to
That's the
help.
most important with your caddy, that you have a personal connection, that you actually enjoy each other's company, because you spend so much time together. I probably see him more than my wife, and you know, if you don't enjoy each other's company, it's gonna be long weeks. So
totally.
you know, he doesn't always give me the right clubs, but he's a nice guy to be around with.
Listen, you two played together at the BMW International Open,
Yep.
and David's just been telling me about how brilliantly you played, and especially your iron play. How's everything right now?
Yeah, really good. I mean, my iron play has never really been the issue, but I struggled with chipping last year, so I had to fix that, and I made some changes in that department. But the irons have been pretty good, and David saw that a couple of weeks back. So yeah.
He was rifling it straight, arrow straight at every flag. Amazing. Hole in one.
Hole in one. Hole in one on the 8th there, and then the day after I just missed it on the first par 3. I hit it to about an inch on the second hole. So I hit them lovely that week, and I should hit them more like that.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers will have seen that hole in one. Fantastic. And you saying about your chipping, and what have you been doing there?
Well, I had the chip yips. I couldn't chip. I was missing the ball. I was duffing it. I was sculling it over the green, and I chipped like Fitzy now, left hand below. So
Here we go. Let's have a look.
yeah, I mean, I just turn my hands around, and a lot of the things comes from putting. You know, when you have the chip of the putt chips, you can go to a long putt or you can go to the claw. You can change things up. It's quite easy.
Yeah.
And with chipping, I just done the same. I just went, all right, left hand below, and it's a new feel. And instead of being in that overworked brain trying to hit the ball the way you've been doing it for 15 years, that didn't work. So I thought I've got nothing to lose, and it's a lot better.
Well, it's a message. Our viewers are picking up so many top tips here. You're having a bit of a giggle, Martin. What are you laughing about his chipping?
No, it's just when I worked for David, he'd got a little bit of psychology going about the little chimp on his shoulder and stuff like that.
Yeah, chip on your shoulder, Dave.
Sort of in my head. In my head.
So Joost being brutally honest about having the chipping yips and what have you. Sometimes it's not a thing that a lot of players will be honest and straightforward about things like that.
I don't think I could deny it. It was pretty obvious I had it. So, you know, I think you can deny you having the yips in any department. I think it starts by admitting you have it, because only you can solve the problem if you know you have a problem.
Yeah.
And you can stick your head in the sand and say, no, I don't have the drive yip or I don't have the putt yips, but everybody else knows. But as soon as you say, all right, this is it and I need to fix it, then at least you can try to find the right people and the solution for the problem. And that's what I've done, and I'm not ashamed of it. Everybody has it. Or not everybody, but a lot of. I'm not the only guy. I'm not the only guy. It's part of this job sometimes, you know, and that's what we go through, battling those issues.
Yeah, totally. And the greens here, you know, the runoffs, the tight lies. You've been out on the course. Yeah. How many times have you played this course?
Well, I was here. When is it? 2013, 2014. 2014. I was here, but I couldn't remember much. But playing it now, it reminds me how good this golf course is. I mean, it played really tough yesterday in the rain. It played long, but the bunkers are in the right position. It's just a very demanding track. Around the greens here, because it's so tight, you can use different options. You don't have to chip it all the time. You can putt it up, which I like doing, but also because a year ago I avoid those chips, so I still like to putt it up, and sometimes that's the best option here.
Yeah.
You know, keeping it down is links golf.
Oh, complete. I played here 4 weeks ago actually, and I was putting around the greens the whole time, literally.
It's so pure around the greens as well, so you know, you can actually run it up, and the good thing with just putting is you don't have to worry about spin or strike. You just focus on the speed, and the rest will take care of itself then. And I think a lot of the guys, you see them chipping, but sometimes it makes it harder as well.
Yeah, great stuff. Great, thank you. And listen to all our viewers. If you're in doubt about chipping, putt it, basically.
Putt it. Just switch the ends around.
Oh, yeah,
that's
switch
an option
left,
as well.
left below, right.
Switch it around. Just try.
Let's get a shot of bunker to finish off with. Thanks, Joost. That's great. Really appreciate it. Great stuff. There's bunker. We're going to go off, and thank you, Martin.
Thank you. Have a great
we'll
week.
have to have a lie down after that. And goodness me, it's different today, isn't it, David? Look at the crowds. Look at them. Do you think they can give us a bit of a cheer? Do you think so? Let's see. Would you give us a bit of a cheer after 3? 1, 2, 3. Can we do one more time? 1, 2, 3. You're at the Open Championship. It doesn't get any better than this. We'll see you in a couple of minutes' time. We will. Oh, it's brilliant.
Origins premium experiences at the Open. the ultimate way to experience golf's original championship. Enjoy unparalleled on-course views as the world's best golfers take on the challenge of the links. With over 10 hours of world-class action, mouth-watering food and complimentary drinks, guests can soak up the nail-biting atmosphere like never before. And watch history in the making. Whether you're looking for the ultimate client experience or a memorable day with a group of friends, Origins offers a variety of fully inclusive premium experiences that cater to every taste and budget. Don't miss your chance to guarantee your place and the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, welcome. This is live at the range. It's Wednesday morning still. Beautiful day out there. That was interesting beforehand. I'm still sitting here alongside Simon Holmes. Simon, I thought we're getting confessional for a second there. You got anything to confess?
Oh, I can't go there. So, but Joust is really very interesting, isn't he? He's like just the way he's just. I guess you know when you're a competition golfer and you've got a problem, you don't have much time to fix it. So that's an unbelievable mid-career move to change your hands around, going on Matt Fitzpatrick, Andrew.
Yeah, I think the important thing is he can challenge in a week like this because he has done at the KLM, which is links golf. And as he said, he doesn't have to chip around the greens.
No, I think the green sites are amazing. I mean, so complex. You've got so much shape. I had forgotten how incredibly flat the greens are here. The greens really do look as though, apart from 17, that they really don't have much movement on them. But they're like little pop-up greens, aren't they? And then the runoffs, amazing. They've really grown that. The bunkers as well. So it's definitely a different golf course, Andrew.
Certainly does. Well, technology plays a huge part in terms of golf down at the range. You've got all the sort of TrackMan data. And it's great for the crowd to get an idea as to how the players are hitting it, the shape and shots and the trajectories. Simon?
Yeah, so what we've got here is top tracer technology. So we're just recording what the ball is doing. And so let's have a look. You can see you've got flat carry. That's just the number that you're hitting it. You've got the ball speed. So let's suppose start to get impressed when the guys have a ball speed over 173. Then you know you're looking at someone who's pretty elite. And then apex is really interesting. I think, you know, let's suppose you have kind of, you know, the guys who hit the highest, Ross Fisher, Hideki Matsuyama, Rory, Bryson, they are up in like the 130s in ball apex. And then probably standard average is kind of like 90 to 100 feet of apex. And all the balls, all the shots go the same height, right? But what we're going to see is them hit the same club on 3 or 4 different launches. And so what they're doing is they're factoring in, if I have a crosswind, if I have an into wind, how I'm going to manipulate my swing to drive the ball down lower, take the spin out, so the wind will not impact my carry as much, or at least I can control it.
And it's great for the spectators to be much more engaged in what is happening down there.
This is absolutely, I think, game-changing. Like you've got such an amazing. The technology has really sort of advanced the viewer's experience of this. And if you're down on the driving range, it's an unbelievable watch, right? Matt Fitzpatrick with driver, massive grip on there. So let's see what he's got. So Mike Walker in the background with Billy Foster, a pair of coffee sippers, I think, there, as they are just observing Fitzpatrick, who has to be thinking that he's one of the better players. So they see the big grip there. That's a training grip. That's not a club that goes on the course, just one that allows him to sort of really feel as he keeps his hands out of it and under, and get his body to rotate through it.
He does have interesting tee shots. I mean, he's got all the shots, but he does have something that he calls sometimes like a second serve, like in tennis,
Yeah.
where just a little bit off it, less spin.
Yeah, the guys definitely, Andrew, will have like a, let's call it like a fairway finder, which is basically like undercooked, so 70 is not his most powerful, so he's just working his way up. But 90 feet of apex is a much lower driving shot that he's going to need in the crosswinds. So Fitzpatrick has added huge power. Look at the focus.
Great win at Harbour Town this year.
It was.
Beat Jordan Spieth in a playoff. A lovely little 9-iron into a couple of inches in the playoff hole. 9-iron, funnily enough, was the club that he employed when he won the US Open at Brookline the year before, out the bunker.
So, has really sort of taken the technology, embedded it, records all of his shots, very data-driven field player. It's a great team of guys, isn't it? Mike Walker, Billy Foster, Matt Fitzpatrick. You must be a pretty good player if you've got those two blokes standing behind your bag.
Yeah, big Liam as well. Yeah, he works for one of the club manufacturers. He's got a tremendous amount of knowledge in the game there. Young lad from Sweden. He's getting a little bit too tall for his hair nowadays.
Yeah, you know, that's a streamlined look. It's aerodynamic, isn't it? So, yeah, the chat always keeps going. Is there anything? Could I find like a what could I do to improve 0.5%? And there's the chat talking maybe about a shot that's on the course. How am I going to land those 15? How am I going to manage 14? What do I hit on 1, on 18? It's just a lot of different things to factor in, and then tomorrow the wind could pitch up in a completely different place, and all the things you factored go out the window. So you've got to be able to be very flexible, I think, Andrew.
Well, that's an interesting point, because I bumped into you bright and early this morning. You were talking about the different wind conditions already faced this week.
Yeah, I think that's a major factor. I was down on the driving range in 14 in particular, which is this range here, and no one really came on it that week because it was such a pumping left to right wind. Now you can look at those flags, that's a right to left wind. So this is kind of like the winter wind. What will happen over the next 4 days? So just talking, Andrew, about the conditions, and I think we've still got kind of like this winter wind coming, and it'll be just interesting to see. The tides can move the wind, but that factors in. I think you're going to have to hit a lot more drivers this week. So the strategy, I think, that Tiger employed of one driver, and he was a terrible driver. I remember it went miles left. He just snap hooked it. Anyway, playing with Faldo those first 2 days in that amazing victory that he has. It won't be that golf course, Andrew.
No, it's interesting. Completely different golf course. Wandering round, it's very lush. It's in impeccable condition. Wonderful setup.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's a very strategic golf course. It provides you some options, but the test is kind of out there. So, yeah, smiley faces today. They won't see those tomorrow. So Fitzpatrick, having gone through a few tee shots, just, let's say, cooling off. We saw his brother, who's also playing Alex, earlier in the morning. The two brothers competing together. I think it was something like 139 years since that happened the last time. So those two guys making history.
Yeah, it's a very well bunkered golf course. Steele, Hawtrey and Ebert have done a tremendous job allowing those bunkers to be in play inside, outside of little dog legs, good distances off the tee. But again, just thinking one or two players will take the bunkers on and try and get it all the way down there this week.
It'll be interesting. I just remember watching Morikawa when he played at Royal St George's. He took on so many bunkers, right? And I mean, if you look at some of the other guys, they were 70 yards back of him. So I think if you're going to win, you can't de-risk your tee shots 100% if you're going to have the winning score. So you'll have to take on something.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Spin is still important. We've got small greens here. They're not the biggest by any stretch of the imagination. And coming from the rough to some of the pin positions with the runoffs around them isn't going to do you any favours.
I think that's right. And I was watching out this morning. We were out this morning early, and those little front right bunkers. There's so many holes. A little front right bunker, and that's a very difficult bunker because behind those bunkers is a downslope. So if you are coming in from the right side of the fairway, that really can sort of negatively impact a lot of your second shots, or at least your ability to get in close.
I'm just thinking, people down on the range at this stage, there's nothing left for them to find. If they don't have anything by now, it's not going to be there when they peg it up tomorrow morning, is it?
No, I think that's right, and I think it's also a case of, okay, you know, what should I not be thinking about? Like, here I've got 10 thoughts, I need to have 2. How do I get rid of the other 8? So you're just going through a process of elimination, narrowing it down, talking with your coaching team and saying, okay, I can do one of these 2 things, which is the one, okay, I'll do that, okay, that's going to be my shot. And so you get focused, you get committed into the mind space that you're going to be in. Some great talents down there.
Yeah, Rosner there, quality French player. Multiple winner, Brandon Grace, one of the players that have shot 62 in major championship history. Of course, he did that just up the coast, Royal Birkdale.
Yeah.
Bogey free that
Incredible,
week.
Isn't it? He'd be the third
that day.
Yeah, he's out in the first group at 6:35 tomorrow. Matt Jordan, local. Matt Jordan, Richie Ramsey and Brandon Grace will be our first 3-ball tomorrow morning, opening up the 151st Open.
David Lingmuth, he qualified last week, one of the 3 players not already exempt that got in. Former winner over at the Memorial. Course that Jack built, a terrific tournament. Not a big hitter. Interesting putting grip. Got the split hands on the putting grip.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's like this, you know, what's the new normal in putting? It's just a case of, like, I think the greens have got so fast, especially if you play PGA Tour, they're so fast that you have to find your way to control that club face. Control the club face, get the ball starting on the line, and then controlling the speed. And there just seems to be so much more freedom around that. You know, there's been some rule changes, long putters anchoring, let's call it largely banned. So the caddies, the strong oxes behind the athletes who are the players. Cam Davis, there's someone who can hit a ball. You want to go someone hit sort of long, it's like the prowess to hit an amazing launch long iron, Andrew. I mean, you look at it and you go 255 carry with a 2-iron, yeah, and 120 feet in the air. It's just amazing.
He's a lovely player. He won the Rocket Mortgage a couple of years back. 2017 was a good year for him. He won his home Open, same title, of course, that Wayne Riley won many moons ago. He finished 4th in the PGA Championship. I agree, he's a wonderful talent. President's Cup team member, not quite, in my opinion, reached his full potential by any stretch of the imagination.
I think that's absolutely right. And hitting balls there in the blue shirt, Russell Henley as well. Amazing putter, like one of those super hot guys, like a real A-type kind of edgy, fidgety sort of player. But when he's good, Russell Henley's amazing. There he is, zipping around the place.
Just outside the top 50. I'd try and keep away from number 13 though, if you're superstitious.
Yep, so here we go.
A little bit further left, on the left-hand side of your picture, Sam Burns, winner of the Match Play Championship earlier on this year, knocked out Scheffler, his good mate, in the semi-finals, and beat Cameron Young in the final. Quality player. Had a little bit of a mishap in the bunker last week up the face of the bunker.
That was unbelievable, wasn't it? Just got a, yeah, that can happen in the revetted faces, got it bedded in there. So Sam Burns, I think, one of the guys, I'm really keeping an eye on him. I think there will be a day where he will be a #1 player in the world.
Great player, one of the best putters in the game of golf. Parents wanted him to take up football, play a little bit more American football. He said, I'll tell you what, if you do that, I'll only do that if you build me a putting green in the back of the garden. And And so they reneged, built a putting green in the back of the garden. It's probably one of the best investments ever.
Incredible, isn't it? It's a great story. Like all the things, all the little funny crossroads that you go through in your life, and you end up in one place or another, and each crossroad takes you either closer or further away from the place you need to be. Anyway, so Burns, this is kind of like a really modern, powerful golf swing, built like a linebacker. So stable. Look at the feet. We've seen Scheffler, we've seen Jordan Spieth really kind of like using or having much more unstable looking legs. Watch how Sam Burns stands on the ground here. So have a look at this. Arms just hanging, no tension in those shoulders. Working on that club face, so just not to have that left arm work away from his body, not to have that club face work in behind his hands so he doesn't get stuck. So interesting, just putting it on a little tee. Look at that. It's amazing, isn't it? So interesting, you know, the links turf, you know, sits so much on the ground, doesn't it? If you're from America, you're used to the strong grass holding the ball up in the air, maybe the optics there, just changing it over. So as we slide down, ooh, Gary Woodland, look at this, rubber wrists.
Yeah, the man that in 2014 finished runner-up here to Rory McIlroy. Great to see him back in form, Ricky Fowler.
Amazing victory, incredible in Detroit. In a playoff, he looked as though on the second playoff hole that he'd really put it miles out of position, but it played a remarkable shot, having got a drop from the grandstands. And it was a popular win. We were screaming at our TVs. I did that show. Ricky Fowler. It's like one of those, always reminds me, like you take Sam Burns and you think, wow, that's effortless. But you look at Ricky Fowler, I don't know if you remember those kind of, I think they call them like a Mexican drum, where you kind of got the two little balls on a string and you spin the stick and the balls spin around and hit the drum on both sides. It's almost like he's got that kind of arm action around a fast turning chest.
What has he's moved back to Butch? What has Butch done that's helped him move back into contention for major championships?
I think Butch is what Ricky says is just Butch gave me like the riot act and kicked my butt, right? And so it was more a case of it was a technical lesson, yes, but and which is the right arm to stay more in front of his body and not go so stuck in behind him. But it was the will you get yourself sorted out and show us and show, like, where's Ricky Fowler? Where are you? What are you doing this? What are you doing that? So it was very much a getting read the riot act by Butch Harmon, who can be quite gruff, and going, okay, wow, I think I better stop taking this a bit seriously now.
Of course, he won the Scottish Open in 2015. He was back last week after his win in the Rocket Mortgage. He's finished slightly outside the 42nd, but a lot of his attention focused on this golf course where he has so many happy memories.
Oh yeah, he was out in the last group with Rory, wasn't he, in 14? Couldn't quite get it done. Garcia was another one who was really up there. So let's have a look at the Ricky Fowler action here. See if he does that little waggle that he does. So I say those arms are less moving around on the plane. The key thing for Ricky Fowler is just don't get the club laid off at the top, which is like the right elbow way below the level of the left elbow and the club pointing way to the left of the target as we look at it from behind in his backswing. So he's trying to really work the club onto the line so that when it comes back down and he rotates, the club head's not stuck in back behind him. Or what happens is he gets it in behind him and he has to pull it out steep, and then he can't square it up, can't match it up.
Coupled with obviously the technical ability and the talent, the confidence is now back on the rise. It's inexplicable to think that less than a year ago he was 185th in the world, and at the trough, the deepest part of the biggest slump in his career, and how quickly he's actually managed to turn it around and get himself right back to nearly the top of the world rankings, and currently just outside the top 20. It's incredible.
Yeah, I admire that, because I think, you know, you come out of college and you're talented and you ride that kind of first wave, right? And the first wave for him crashed on the beach, okay? And then it's a case of, okay, wow, I don't have it, right? then it's the drive, the desire, the pride in your own performance to go back out there and say, you know what, I am not done with this. I will find a way to come back. And I admire that. That second wave's harder to do.
So there's an argument, actually, he's a better player now than he was when he won his previous 5 tournaments.
Oh, I agree. That's absolutely right. I think that for Ricky Fowler, he maybe just rode a talent, but now the talent has evolved, and he disappears off probably for a 9 holes arranged golf course session, test his action.
Just walking past big Christoph Lamprecht, the amateur champion this year.
Yeah, there's a talent. I mean, imagine being 6'8". What you could do with a ball with that.
Adrian Ategi, a bit of match play specialist. Panning back. It's a busy place.
Yeah, it's final prep, isn't it? The smiles are going, the seriousness, the test is much more focused, and that, the power of the wind, what will that do this week?
I think a lot of it as well is just passing time, you know, with the excitement. Some of the players have come down on Monday and, you know, ready to go by now. But anyway, they'll have to wait. And we'll have to wait a little while. But in the meantime, let's get back to Di.
Thanks, Andrew. Thank you, guys. You know, a brilliant job in the commentary box. I'm here with Rich Beam. Not seen Rich this week. I've heard you a lot on television.
Yeah,
Scotland.
I've been around.
Yeah.
I've been sneaking, you know, just kind of wandering, you know, around the golf course, coming over to the driving range, walking in the rain, you know, jumping in puddles, and generally just having fun like I normally would around here.
Absolutely. You love, Rich, you love links golf.
I love
on
it.
your days off, this gentleman goes and books tee times, morning and afternoon, 36 holes.
Not anymore. My
Okay.
body just says no, thank you. But I don't mind getting out in the afternoon, evenings when we get done with work, just because it's light until what 10:30 or so sometimes, and it keeps me out of trouble a little bit.
Oh, it does.
Just a little
It
bit,
really
but
does.
no, it's a blast. I mean, there's nothing better than teeing off like 8 o'clock at night and just getting in a quick 9 or something like that. It's just
It's
tremendous.
heaven, isn't it?
It's heaven.
It's so great, and that's what a lot of the players have been saying here, because it stays light until a lot later. They can go out and do a bit of practice at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Possibly slightly early if you've got a very early tea time tomorrow morning, 6:35 a.m. Rich.
6:35.
Oh my goodness, I'm feeling the excitement, honestly, and the crowds. If Kev just pans over to the grandstand again, absolutely packed. It wasn't like this yesterday. It was pretty busy, but it's just gone up a level.
It was a little bit. The weather was a little bit of a deterrent yesterday.
Yeah.
I think. I'm still
On, off.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're recovering.
Recovering.
Yeah,
but
okay.
it was fun.
This range is pretty packed. We've got Podrick Harrington on the left of Jo Slouten, and we've been speaking quite a lot. We're going to speak to Marcel Seam in just a second, but Podrick is in the running for a Ryder Cup spot. I mean, he's bossing it, isn't it, on the Champions Tour?
He is, and it's between he and Steve Stricker. I think it's going to be a mad dash to the finish to see who gets Player of the Year. But right now, I mean, Harrington, the way he's playing, put himself in great contention last week at the Scottish Open after 2 rounds. He didn't have the weekend he was hoping for, but still, you know, to be out here, I mean, there's no lack of work ethic in Podrick. It's amazing, and so to see him day in and day out, just be a little kid, fall in love with the game, trying to find some distance out here. And, you know, funny enough, on the Ryder Cup side, I mean, he would not be a bad pick. I mean, he just smoked that driver off the deck. I mean, not a lot of young guys have that out here. That was awesome.
Absolutely brilliant. And we did speak to Pete Cowan a couple of days ago now, and he's just saying he's getting longer, he's getting straiter as well.
That's a pretty good combination as you get older.
Yeah.
You're getting longer and straighter. That doesn't happen. Look at that. He's just smoking them.
Yeah, we've got one of the best views in golf. We really have right now.
I just
the
want to
day
watch
before
this
the
for
Open.
like the next 10
I
minutes.
know.
This is just, it's
But this
unreal.
is, as we keep reminding all our viewers at home, this really is unparalleled access, isn't it? Being so close to the players and being able to chat to them. Let's wander over to Marcel Seam, because I spoke to him about 10 minutes ago, and he did say he'd have a quick word with us.
Perfect.
And it's played really well of late. Winner Indian Open earlier this season.
Well, he's tall and handsome. How could he not be playing well?
Oh, guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Wie geht's?
Sehr gut, danke schön.
That's about it now. I do speak a little bit of German, danke.
I know beer.
You know, beer.
Yeah.
It's good in Germany, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's very
It's really good.
Listen, Marcel, great to have you here at the Open Championship. Great to return. And this season, tell us a little bit about, you've had a couple of top 10s of late, second place finish a few weeks ago. Life's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, coming from Q school, not knowing what kind of tournaments I will play, was a bit tough to schedule, especially with the family. So that win in India was very handy. Crushed the plans of my wife a little bit.
What plans did she have?
I mean, we moved to Mauritius, and the traveling back and forth is not that easy anymore. So we had like the 3-tournament gap. Then I won't get into the big one, so I'll be home for 4 or 5 weeks. So that didn't happen, but it was a good problem to have all of a sudden. And yeah, I mean, I had a few top 20s before that win already, so I felt something was coming. And then the second place at the Porsche and in Hamburg was really cool in front of the German crowds.
Fantastic. What a terrible place to move to,
I know,
Mauritius.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was really feeling bummed out about the fact that you've got
It's a spare place to move to.
Figure out how to get to Mauritius.
Always. I mean, the Mauritian people are always welcoming the people, and I am too, so come whenever you guys want.
Tell us the connection there. Why there?
I think 2017 was the first time I played the Mauritian Open there. And I became friends with Thierry Valette. He's the Fraser Mauritius Bank founder. And I played with his boys, golf and stuff. And through this, I got a sponsorship from the Heritage Golf Club. And I'm ambassador for them since 18, I think. And we went there always for 6-7 weeks in the winter with the family. And then and I know about my wife, what happened, and I think we made a decision that it's much better for my wife to heal up there. I can live golf, I live on the golf course, I just take the buggy, go to the range, and the kids are in a great environment growing up, and after COVID, with all the stress and depressions that people have in all over Europe, we made a decision to move there. And ever since it goes like that.
Isn't that incredible? Absolutely brilliant. We're going to book our plane tickets to come and see you in the sunshine very soon.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go like this and just figure it all out from there.
Listen, today's a good day. Today is the day before a major championship, and to come here, what are you exactly doing, fine-tuning what you've already done so well over the last few weeks?
I mean, the last few weeks of starting at the Belfry where we had high winds all of a sudden. Denmark was crazy Thursday, Friday. Then all of a sudden, Saturday, Sunday, there's no wind. Once you get your body and the swing adjusted to high winds, it's very tough to go back again. So I think loads of us have that kind of problem that you want to have a high ball flight again. And now it's the Open. I mean, last week the forecast was horrendous, and it was actually quite good. It was only Sunday where we had to hit the ball a little lower. So I'm a little bit not in sync at the moment, so that's what we're working on today. I hit a few fat ones, a few thin ones, so I think my body's moving too much and lateral. So I'm trying to get the impact a bit better.
You sound like a normal human being instead of a top-ranked professional golfer, because I understand that after not practicing playing for a while. When you're making that transition, what's the one key that you have to look for? Is it more swing speed, tempo-wise, or are you trying ball position or posture? What's the biggest key to go from trying to keep it low all the time to go ahead and allow yourself to hit it high again?
I think the rhythm is very important. Then you have to figure out what kind of ball flight you actually want to hit. If you want to hit a draw or fade some players, draw players, and in the wind that's getting too aggressive, so they try to straighten the ball flight out a bit. For me, I always hit my little fade. That's quite handy. You can keep the hands forward, and it's all about hip rotation in a way. Get the speed right there, and get the divots, not too deep in a way, because I'm getting in quite deep, and that's pretty much it. You shouldn't think too much about it. I think it's good for field players when the winds are coming, and I like that. I love that, and can't wait to go out there and see what's going on.
I like that field player.
It's
I like that. I mean, it's too many guys out here doing apparatuses and things like that, and you're just out here just hitting it, finding it, digging it out of the dirt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this course is really tough. Saying I'm hitting fades off the tee, you need actually draws on this golf course. So this is something I will try later. My missed shot's getting a lot worse when I hit draws off the tee. we will see. It's a special week.
It certainly is. We're speaking to quite a few of the your caddy's going to be key this week, especially when you play holes like Little Eye, like the 17th, where you could be taking a wedge or a 6-iron depending on the wind. But Richard Bland's caddy was just going like that in the air, just saying it's it's all about feel around these links golf courses, isn't it?
That Guy is the wind doctor. That's why I'll call him always. I mean, I won with him 3 times. So Guy is the guy to have Richie on links golf and windy conditions. I think Blandy can call himself very lucky to have him on the back.
Yeah. And also life begins apparently at 48. Richard Bland said when he won the British Masters. He's now just 50 years young, Rich. 50 years young. What time's your tee-off time tomorrow?
10:50ish, something like that.
Yeah.
And then really late on Friday. So this is always the thing at the Open, where you wish for that early tee time, and then the midday tee time, the second one. But I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. You just got to manage your time, haven't you, Rich?
Okay.
As a major champ,
you got
come
a
on,
tee time in the Open.
How did you do it?
Yeah.
And I mean, most of the time they put me out one of the first 3 or 4 groups because I was one of the faster players. But funny enough, in 06, when I was playing here, I was first out on Friday. Yeah. And by the second fairway, where they put us on the clock because we took like 19 strokes of the first hole, we hit it sideways. And like, listen, I promise, we're going to get faster. But you know, the times that I did have to play late in the afternoon, you just kind of wake up, walk around town, watch a little TV, and, you know, maybe even take an early afternoon nap. But it's hard. It's hard, you know, for golfers to get out there and play at 3, you know, tee off time at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because we're not used to that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing a little putting session in the morning.
Yeah.
Warm up on the chipping green a little bit, go back to the house, have a nap, and then come out again and do the normal routine. I guess I will try. I mean,
I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely. Listen, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And spiel gut.
Dankeschön. Dankeschön.
Very good. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marcel. Danke. Really good to speak to him. And watch out for him tomorrow on the links. We will wander the range, Rich and I. Good to see you, Rich. We'll be back after this.
We're told that the weather forecast for today is kind early on, with the possibility of some wet weather later.
I think Mother Nature kicks it up another notch.
Quite extraordinary. What a moment.
Tremendous, isn't it? Again, and a great opportunity to have a wonderful feel of what it's like to be at an Open Champion. Nice to see the sun actually making an appearance. It was a terrible day yesterday, fairly inclement weather. A beautiful temperature out there now, but I don't think the golf course is going to dry out much, Simon.
I don't think so, Andrew. I think there's just going to be variable conditions. I think the major key is going to be that wind direction. It definitely feels to me as though the wind we've got now is the hardest wind. And so it's going to be a different test. I think that a lot of players were thinking, okay, you know what, if the Tiger did it this way, he didn't hit driver, it's going to be that. It won't be anything like that. I think you'll have to hit driver. You will have to, I think you can't just play avoiding the bunkers because you leave yourself too far back in the crosswinds. I don't know if you agree with that. I think you're going to have to take on some of those traps. You can't just play total trap avoidance with no driver.
Tremendous talent there. Seam, of course, we just heard from him on the left. There he is, former champion golfer of the year, a man who already has his name etched into golfing history. And the beautiful claret jug. Won by 6 shots, I think it was, in the end over there at Royal Portrush. Shane Lowry.
Some player, Shane Lowry. Gritty. The performance he put in also at Wentworth to win the BMW was sensational. But what he did on that Saturday afternoon at Portrush in terrible conditions in front of his home crowd was just an amazing find in his body there. Incredible.
It was tremendous. Neil Manship there with a bucket hat on, his coach. He's been by his side for many years.
Yeah, what a team. It's a swing for me. He came out as a talent. He won the Irish Open as an amateur. Remember those amazing scenes. And his swing has evolved. The leg action's better, more stable. The shot making is immense. It's perfect for him. He must come to this golf course, Andrew, and think, you know what? This is the course. This is the style of course that suits my game more than any other course in the world. So he must just feel one up as he arrives on that first tee tomorrow.
3 top 20s in the majors already this season. It's been a quality year for the man from Dublin. He's opened up a gastro pub down there in Hoylake. It'd be tremendous. I wonder what he's got on the menu. Must ask him about that.
It looks as though he might have just had a quick run through the menu himself. But anyway, let's see the hand action through the ball of Shane Lowry. Kind of that loose, that kind of Freddie Couples. I mean, remember when the right hand comes off through the ball. Feel. Tempo, amazing. So, from Shane Lowry.
Well, look at that.
Ooh.
That's tremendous. What a stage for that young man. Tall man. Wonderful talent. Really looking forward to watching this man play in the future. 6'8" he is. So let's just watch this swing.
Yeah, the current amateur champion. One of 6 amateurs in this field. Andrew, look at that. I mean, that is some long levers.
It certainly is. Christo, it's Simon Holmes here and Andrew Coulthard. And first of all, congratulations on your tremendous victory over there at Hillside. What did that feel like? What does it feel like to be the amateur champion?
Hey, Andrew and Simon. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing week. I was playing some really good golf, and yeah, it was pretty cool to lift the trophy at the end of the week.
And of course, you had a special caddy in the bag. He'd been there before, hadn't he?
Yeah, it was pretty funny that Christian was the winning caddy last year, and he was on my bag too. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
So you won around Hillside. That's kind of pretty linksy, right, and not far from here. So when you arrived here, did it kind of feel a bit more familiar?
I lost you guys there.
Okay, so just talking about links golf, you know, you wouldn't have had too many experiences. You did win the amateur at Hillside. When you came here, does it kind of feel a bit familiar?
I got you guys again.
Okay, Christo, talking about links golf, you won the amateur at Hillside. And now coming here to this golf course here, feels familiar. Do you like links golf?
Yeah, I think South Africans generally have always loved links golf. You can get kind of shows in the results. But yeah, I just love kind of the creativity part of it, and it just gives me a platform to hit whatever I want.
Come on, you can't. You have another little whack of this. Very nice. It still looks good, Christo. What's your thought process today? What are you feeling? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, I've been recently very focused on just keeping my wrist angle a little. That's why I've got a little marker in my left wrist here, and then just trying to stay in the golf ball. My bad miss normally is right, so I just kind of try to stay in it and control it from there.
Okay, little pen in the back of the glove there to kind of make sure you don't cup it. So is that something that happens? You cup that left wrist sometimes? So you're trying to bow it down?
Growing up, I used to cup it a lot on the way down, and so it's not trying to bow it, it's just kind of hold it on the way down.
Okay.
Not let it cup.
Control that club face a bit better. And did you have a tough time getting golf equipment to match you? Like, what are your stats on your golf clubs? Are they way over length?
I guess that's what happens. I guess that's what happens when you hit it hard. The AirPod falls out of your.
I think it was intentional. You just didn't want to listen to Simon ask any more questions again. I think that was what it was.
I guess growing up, I had a massive growth spurt in high school, and so multiple club changes, and so all my irons are 1.5 inches longer. So yeah, it's really confusing. But hey, no one else can use these clubs but me. So.
What club is that?
This is a 5-iron.
What's your standard carry with a 5-iron?
It's somewhere about 200 meters, so about 220 yards.
Okay, here we go. I want to see a 220-yard carry 5-iron.
Let's see if I can do that for you guys. That was the nicest one yet.
Beautiful strike.
197. So.
Okay, a little into the wind. And so that's 132 feet of apex. So that's a really high shot. So can you hit me like a lower one, like a 90
sure.
feet of apex?
Sure, I'll try to keep it lower.
He's working on his own stuff, Simon. Let him work on his own stuff.
No.
We got to test. We got to test the talent.
There we go. That one's lower for sure.
And how do you do that? Oh, that's a beauty. How about that? What do you do in your swing to change your launch, change your ball flight?
Yeah, for me, when I try to flight it, I just narrow the stance a little bit so it shortens my swing, and then I just put it naturally further back in my stance.
Okay, can we see one of those but a fade? Like a little low stinger fade. Hold up, hold one up.
The wind's off to the right, so I'm just going to try to hold it up.
Great. Different finish through the ball. Ah, look at that, holding it up against the right side. Did you like that?
Yeah, it's a little further right than I thought it, but otherwise, loved it.
Okay.
Crystal, this is great. It's very good of you to give up your time to have a chat to us and give everybody an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. What you've achieved is life-changing. Have you had a chance to reflect on that, or are you just focusing on what is coming round the corner next?
You know what, the biggest mindset goal I've set myself this year is just trying to stay in the moment and not get ahead of myself and not get, I guess playing 3 majors is pretty cool, but just focusing on tomorrow's tee shot, that's all I can control.
So you mean playing the Open and the Masters is pretty cool, I would say?
Yeah, no, obviously, as an amateur, that's a great achievement, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so hang on a second before you hit that. What numbers are we looking for? Let's have a look. Let's talk ball speed.
Yeah, so with a driver, I average about 190, somewhere around there.
Okay, that's
really good. It can get up to 195.
Okay, let's see 190 to start with, and then we can start figuring out what happens after that.
You guys make it sound like I can control a 190 ball speed, but...
Here we go, 190.
Where is this?
187.
So
okay,
that
was just a loosener.
That was not.
That was a
not
loosener.
good.
That was just a loosener. I don't even think that counts.
We still need things on the range, and that's why we're here. So
there you go.
Hit them now, so we don't. Right.
100%, absolutely. That's the place to get rid of it. You don't want to hit all your good shots in the range. That's a waste.
Yeah. That is a waste, isn't it? That wasn't too bad.
Oh, 197 ball speed. I think you're getting pumped up with this. 197 ball speed. That's what our monitor says.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
315 yards of carry. Okay, so put in a bit of effort on this one.
You guys want me to hit it hard now?
I want to see one. I want to see the full beans one time.
I actually promised myself this week, but now you guys have forced me.
Yeah, no, well, just do it once. Just do it once.
Gotcha. Goodness gracious.
2:02.
Oh, he's done it.
That's why I donated hard.
Right, right. Hey, listen, we're never done. We don't care about where it's going. It doesn't matter here. I want you to just chill out. You just do what you're doing, sir. Don't get sucked into what Simon Holmes wants you to do.
No, we're just yeah, I'm working some swing stuff and trying to get just stay in it a little more. So let's see what this one does. Goodness gracious, thing's falling out the whole time.
192, fairway finder.
Crystal, it's a great week this to get an opportunity to put your name up with anybody, you know, somebody to play a practice round with, try and learn anything. Did you manage to do that this week?
Yeah, so I played with South African guys on Monday and Tuesday, Louis, Brandon, and Shaw. And then this morning I kind of unexpectedly played with Cam Smith, so it was lovely to see how he approaches the game. And
wow,
I learned a lot.
Yeah, what did you learn?
I think I've never seen someone from 150 in be that good. So personally, I just, it made me realize how important that part of the game is.
So is that kind of going to change your practice habits for the future?
Yeah, probably definitely in the next 6 months I'm gonna.
What club do you hit 140 yards?
140 yards is probably smooth wedge.
It's great, isn't it?
Well, you never had the growth spurt when you were young, so you don't have those long levers.
He does not.
Thanks, Andrew.
There we got the tempo back.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, that's so crucial, isn't it? That's so crucial.
Yeah, that's a big part of my game, I guess, being so long and having that long levers. I can get really quick sometimes.
Yeah, but I think not enough people talk about it. You know, rhythm is absolutely crucial to getting that club shaft and club head to do what you want it to do.
Yeah, no, for sure. Golf's a pretty hard game, so anything you can do to repeat the swing is important.
Magnificent. Crystal, we're going to leave you there, sir. We're going to leave you to carry on. Really looking forward to watching your career go from strength to strength. Congratulations once again on a tremendous win over there at Hillside. And the team here and all over, everybody wishes you all the very best, young man. Have a great career, have a great season, and have a great week.
Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Brilliant. What a kid. Really looking forward to watching him play.
What a star. 202 ball speed. So that is, just to give you an idea, like out of his boots, I reckon Rory gets 190, right? Out of his boots, okay? Bryson could probably be in that area. Tony Finau. So you're talking about like absolutely in the top 3 or 4 guys. What a talent to have. And if he can match that skill up with the skills that he saw from Cam Smith from 140 and in. I mean, you know, try to sort of turn 3 shots into 2 from 140 and in. Could be our first glimpse at a world beater.
Yeah, that's crucial, isn't it? Tremendous lessons. These are the places where these young people, you know, maybe slightly in awe of some of the bigger statured individuals can learn so much. Right, not heard from George for a little while, but I think he's with a special guest over there at hole number 1.
All right, a lovely little walk to the first tee, joined by none other than Ricky Fowler. Ricky, how nice is this walk?
I mean, this is a lot nicer than yesterday. We got a little, you know, can see some blue skies. We got some sun. Yesterday was a little kind of misty, annoying rain all day, so may go out and potentially just play them all. I mean, might as well. It's a fun walk.
It's a fun walk, and you'll be doing it relatively soon. This time tomorrow, the Open Championship starts. How are you feeling? How's the vibes out here?
Feels good. I mean, I'd love to have this weather, you know, have a little bit of wind and some dry conditions for the week, but you never know around here. It looks like the weekend could be maybe a little wet, but yeah, we'll just see what we get and No, I love playing links golf, so get out there, hit it, find it, keep moving.
Now, I still think you look quite fresh-faced, a young-looking lad, but 2014 seems like a while ago. You had a great top 5 finish here. Can you remember much from that, and can you take any of that into this week?
Yeah, a bit. I mean, I have my book from 14 and knew kind of how I played it and where I was trying to hit it, so we'll definitely take a lot of the similar strategy from that. There's obviously a few little changes that they've made since then, but yeah, definitely that was, in 14 it was a solid week, you know, being in the final group with Rory, and came up a little short, but yeah, different week. I mean, I think it's the course, I would say, is a little softer and slower than what it was, but yeah, good place to be.
Fans seem to be on your side. They must be loving your recent form. It's been great to watch. How have you enjoyed it?
No, it's been great. I obviously had great support even through the down times, which was nice to have, but as I've continued to play a bit better and you know, be in contention and then ultimately get the win a couple of weeks ago, and the support's gotten bigger and bigger, so definitely a big thanks to the fans that stuck with me, and yeah, nice to have the cheers coming up, and you know, always looking forward to walking up 18 here at the Open.
How does this tee shot look for a first hole at an open venue?
You don't want to start too low. We got a little you know, fescue out here, but it's not necessarily the most inviting. It's fairly tight, bunkers both sides. You know, I think this is a win that we'll see definitely the first 2 days. Kind of plays in, can be a little bit off the right. Really just hopefully get it out in the general direction.
Somewhere that way.
Get off the first tee and get the round going.
All right, well, we can't wait to watch you, mate. It's great to have you back here on the UK soil, so play well.
Thanks, man.
There we go.
Yeah, it sure is. That's the exact reason why he's such a people's person, a crowd pleaser. There's only a few people that really draw in the galleries, and even in the downtime, Ricky Fowler was able to do that. He's one of the most likeable individuals out there, and great to see him right back up there at the top of his game.
Yeah, I think, you know, Ricky Fowler, the way he handled the adversity showed him probably as much about his personality, and he never lost his charm, he never lost his time that he had for the fans, even though he must have been so frustrated with his own performances. So very classy way of handling your sort of public persona.
Yeah, because while you're struggling, you look around at your friends, your colleagues, the people that you grew up with, the people that you were better, their careers continuing to flourish, and you're floundering, and it has a negative impact on you.
Oh yeah, well, his best mates are Jordan Spieth and JT, right? So I mean, like that.
And I think that might have helped him, of course, because Jordan went off the boil for a little bit. He went through a downturn. He's come back. Unfortunately, JT's going through that at the minute, but they're all good for one another because of those experiences.
Yeah, comradeship, so crucial, isn't it, on the road? Look at the swings, guys pounding. Can I find the magic feel that I'm going to need? Sam Burns, flusher. Christian Bezuidenhout.
It's an incredible amount of work going in here. It certainly wouldn't happen like people that have got to get the golf balls back quickly. You certainly don't run out of golf balls while you're practicing, going through your final preparation.
No. I wonder how many hours I've spent in one of those picking up golf balls. Lake Nona driver range. Wow. 4 times a day, picking up the balls, great fun. The crowd's filled that grandstand, Andrew, now, haven't they? Look at that. So, look at that. Who can we zoom in and find? Is that Sung Jae Im we've got there?
Yeah, Sanjay's down there. He's down there. He used to be sort of the Iron Man of golf when he just used to travel from hotel to hotel when he played on tour. They can afford the house now.
Yeah, but I mean, just love of the game. Such a complete player. Never forget the way he won that tournament. Hey, first time on the driving range.
I think that's big Oki Stride, isn't it? South African chap. He's won a couple of times this year on tour.
Yeah.
One of 4 multiple winners this year. One of 9, I think there's 9 first-time winners on the DP World Tour. Kim Neiman just to the right of him. Watch his head dip.
Yeah, watch the side bend there. Neiman's action.
Phenomenal talent. Playing over there on Live Now, part of Team Torque.
So let's have a
36-hole, 54-hole record at the Genesis Invitational a couple of years back when he won that. Incredible player. Third time here. And 24 years old. Neiman inside the top 50 in the world, which is quite a consideration when you consider he's been over there on the Live Tour. There's Sanjay coming into the picture. A little bit disappointing. A couple of wins on the PGA Tour, but he's not really sort of managed to kick on. He went back to Korea just before the PGA Championship, and he won in Korea, but because all that travel just sort of scuppered his chances when he came back to Oak Hill and he didn't perform.
Let's have a look here. This is very deliberate. See how long the pause is. It shaft parallel to the ground. It's almost like the pause is moving further up the backswing there. Almost like a little bit of a sort of a, I don't know what you call it, like a semi-Hideki.
Yeah, it's a very deliberate takeaway, isn't it? Played in the President's Cup team, beat Cameron Young in the singles.
Yeah, great player. I mean, when he basically like wiped Cantlay and the guys out of the park in Las Vegas when he won, just absolutely hit it wherever he was looking all day long and made every single putt. Cam Smith, lean, long levers, Sungjae just grinding it out. So just watch this tempo. So interesting, isn't it? Look at that. So almost looks like it's got a little pause in it. So there, and then it all goes. And it's interesting, it's just a drill that he was doing, and it just kind of ended up in his swing, and he wasn't that aware of it.
Yeah, there's Cam Davis, just on the left-hand side of the picture. What are they looking at there, Simon?
I think they're just looking at the numbers. I think the big situation is here. Listen, so I normally hit my 7-iron 180. I'm going to hit it, and in today's win I've got 167. So you're just calculating what your original feels were, and then you've got a new normal, which is for these weather conditions. And then you know what it's like, Andrew, you know, once you get into the winds, you don't want to have, like, you don't want to be forcing yards out of clubs, right? Because that's going to give you too much spin, too much launch. You know, that you really want to control tempo. Most of the guys who win Opens are quite are not the flash speed guys, right? That sort of, if it's very windy in the Opens, you know, Darren Clark, when he won, it was terrible conditions, unbelievable. And he played in the waterproofs, and he was just like a little three-quarter pace swing all day long. Joachim Neiman in the green hoodie talking to Patrick Reed. So Neiman, left-handed player, left-handed golfer playing right-handed. So watch the side bend here. Watch the drop of the right side. Watch his head there, and it will nearly hit his bag there. And then back up again. Need to have a back like a sort of an invertebrate, sort of like a rubber spine, like an eel to swing like that.
I was going to say, I hope he's got some of that.
Yeah. So here we go. So watch his head. See the little stick behind that's coming out of his bag? Watch this. He's going to nearly hit that. There's his head there. Looks amazing. And it will load, and then tons of drop and side bend there. Hips way forward, head back, just clipping a few wedges away, working on his feel.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
they all do it differently, don't they? Which is what I like to see.
And lots of different ways to do it. It's just a brilliant game, isn't it? Find your way. So,
right, we'll get back to Di. Di, what have you got for us?
Well, a real treat, actually, Andrew. We have Liverpool's leading goal scorer, Ian Rush. 346 goals, Ian, for Liverpool. My goodness, you relive them all every night.
Yeah, I remember every single one of them. Yeah, I'll never forget.
Oh my goodness, which is your, wow, what a gorgeous tagline. Which is your favourite goal that you ever scored?
Well, people always ask me that question, and the question is I don't really have one, because my job was to score goals. If I scored one, I want to score two. If I scored two, I want to score three. So I think when you see the fans are happy when you score from a yard out or score from 20 yards out, and the smiles on their faces, it's something which is incredible.
Oh my goodness, I've been to Anfield a few times, and it is, I mean, the atmosphere is literally electric, and you'll never walk alone when we sing it together.
Yeah, when they talk about the 12th man, you go to Anfield, especially on European night as well.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. I think it takes the opposition maybe 15, 20 minutes to get going, and sometimes then Liverpool are 1 or 2-0 in front. So when they talk about the 12th man, Liverpool, most probably supporters, are the best in the world.
Absolutely, and I know when you enter the grounds and sit and watch a game, there's a massive cheer, just like when Kenny Dalglish goes in as well. Brilliant, great to have you here at Hoylake. I know you're a golfer yourself.
Yeah, I play golf, but this is like my local area, so it's I've been coming here, you know, when Tiger Woods won it and when Rory McIlroy won it again, and to be back here again, it's something special.
Oh, it really is. Where do you play?
I play at Caddy.
Down the road?
Yeah, just down the road. Yeah.
Hello to all the members there this morning. Hello, Ian's here. Just for a few hours. You had dinner with Rory McIlroy on Monday. Was it Monday night?
Yeah, Monday night. It's just a quick 6 o'clock till 8, and we had a good chat. Rory's a big Man United fan.
Yes.
So
How was that?
Yeah, it was great, because it was great to have the picture taken with him with the Open, and we had one with the Champions League as well. So it was something really special.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I bet there's some good banter between you and Rory about Man United and Liverpool matches in years gone by. Brooks Koepka is also a Man United fan. I'm just throwing that in there, Ian. But what did you said 6 till 8. Did you leave bang on 8? Did Rory stay any longer?
No, in fairness, he was only supposed to be there for an hour, and he was enjoying it. He stayed longer. Yeah, he was absolutely, he was a gentleman. And it's something special, and for me, it was absolutely something which again makes it really. For me now, what I have to do now, I'd love to see Rory McIlroy win the Open now.
Yeah, totally, wouldn't we? Again, to try and do it again here, like you did in 2014. What did you eat? Was it good?
Yeah, a bit of Welsh lamb. I'm Welsh as well, so it was.
Yes, Wales is where? Which way is Wales?
God's country's over there. See that? That's Wales.
Straight down there. Yeah, I played golf here with Amy Bolden about 4 weeks ago, and we're saying all her family from Wales, of course, were just over there. So great to chat with Roy. Did he mention anything about this week?
No, he mentioned a bit. He said, it's all. He was, I think, still on the high after winning the Scottish.
Yes,
and I watched that last one when he birdied that. It was incredible. But Tony said most probably one of the hardest holes. He said would be the 17th, and he said it's only 135 yards. But he said that can make or break it. Because the green is so small. And you can, if it's a bit left or right, then you're talking about a 5. So the way he was talking, that could be the most difficult hole.
Yeah, I mean it's a challenge this course, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'd say I played here, but. I'm not the best of golfers, and I struggled a bit, but even the top golfers, even some of them can struggle. That's how difficult. That's what it's all about, though. You overcome. These players know that, so they've got to overcome the difficulties.
I want to have a little walk with you, Ian. If we walk down here, and I just want to sort of highlight to our viewers once again the sound of the golf ball. Yeah. When you hear the sound when the pros hit it, I mean, it's just a different sound to the way we hit it. Yeah. I'm sort of including you in my bracket of amateur. Obviously, amazing at football. You're a good golfer, but this sound is different.
Oh, it's a different league. To talk about amateur footballers and professional footballers, it's a different league. And when you watch these they hit the ball, then after about 10, 20 yards, it takes off. That never happens when I play. It's just one of them.
Totally. I want to go over to the crowd, and I want them to give us a little wave. It's Ian Rush. Can we give him a cheer? Can we give Ian a cheer? Give us a wave. There we go. Good to see you. They're being a little bit more subdued today, Ian. Yeah. Do you know, I love... there was an advert years ago.
The milk advert.
If I don't drink lots of milk, I'll only be good enough to play for...
Accrington Stanley.
Oh, I remember it. It was great.
Say, who are they?
Who are they?
Exactly.
Oh, we need to do it again, don't we? I'm totally ruined it. That was the punchline.
Do it again.
Ian, that was brilliant. Listen, enjoy. Are you going out today? Are you going to play some...
No, I'm going to
watch some golf?
No, not today, but I'm going to be here Friday and Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that, yeah. So... I'll just have a walk around today, and Thursday I'll give it a rest, and Friday and Saturday I'll be here.
Okay, great. Let's try it again. Okay, so if I don't drink lots of milk when I grow up, when I grow up, okay, if I don't drink lots of milk when I grow up, I'll only be good enough to play for Accrington Stanley.
Accrington Stanley? Who are they?
We're going to practice. There's some kind of exactly in there.
You say, I'll say Accrington Stanley. You say Accrington Stanley, who are they? And I say exactly.
I've ruined it completely, haven't I? If I drink lots of milk. Oh my goodness, Ian, you've been great. I've been totally useless. We're going to go to a break. Enjoy your day.
Okay, thank you.
I've got to go.
Bluetooth transmitter.
Back to the range, the final practice day, right around lunchtime. Wind just moving right to left for the players across the driving range. It's going to be interesting to see what that wind does during the week and how that's going to impact what is a very complex golf course for the players. Lots of angles, the visibility's not that great. Greens tend to be at a different angle. There's a talent, Andrew Coulthard, Tony Finau.
Certainly is. Used to be top 10 Tony after the one tournament win in Puerto Rico, but he certainly got rid of that moniker now with 6 wins, winner in Mexico earlier on this season. To be fair, his very high standards, he's sort of not really kicked on from that. No top 20s since he came over. He didn't come over. Rocket Mortgage was his last tournament. He missed the cut there, so he's probably had an extra couple of days preparation in and around the area here.
Yeah, it's just such an interesting action, isn't it? I mean, very, very long and lean levers, kind of like body more like a rubber band.
Never missed the cut in an Open. He's played 6 of them to this point, couple of top 10s.
Yeah, I think, you know, quite a handsy player. Let's take a closer look at his swing. It's almost like he has quite a lot of sit, quite a lot of sort of squat angle between kind of knees and hips. Takes the club back and basically just stands up through the ball and absolutely whacks it. Lovely smile. Gentle man. So let's have a look. Kind of sits there. Look at the height of his hips there. Arms kind of take it back. Not very much hip rotation. So there he is, and then stands up through the ball. Quite uncomplicated action. It's basically, he's playing golf almost like a chip shot, Andrew. So he has got a version of a full swing, which is kind of like, you know, it's just a rip, isn't it? Remember him and his brother Gipper, I think. So hands go back, kind of just left arm parallel to the ground, and then just stands up through the ball with his hips. Hands work across his body, and that's as complicated as it gets.
Yeah, he gets it up there to 118 mile an hour club head speed. Lovely player. I don't know if you've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to watch the full swing on the Netflix platform. He was definitely one of the stars in the episode. A terrific family man, big family. Great family. Actually won in Mexico, and then the very next day he was caddying for his son in the tournament.
Yeah. Look at the crowd pumping in. So there it is. That left wrist going into kind of like a bowed position, and then watch the knees. So there are the knees there, quite flexed, and then just watch both legs straighten up through the ball. Watch that left leg, so bend, straighten.
Huge hands. He's got 13 layers of tape under his under his right hand, 12 under his left.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? So, yeah. Oh, big thick grips, and now, what have we got there? Got a little 3-wood action. So, off the tee, Tony thinking that he's going to be using this club to put balls in play during this tournament. The crowd pounding in behind him. When we were out on the golf course, Andrew, there were people already loaded into the grandstands, and that was early. So here, have a look at this. There, nice low hands. Look at this, hands nearly down by his knees, and then just, look at that, nearly touching, and then bang, legs work up.
Yeah, it also looks like a relatively weak left-hand grip as well by modern day standards. He's also got another win, of course, this season, not this year, but this season at the Houston Open, the tail end of last year. Right, let's catch up with George once more.
Hello, everyone. Hello from the top of the clubhouse entry. A lovely view up here. What a morning it has been. I feel like it's been a full day of work out here already. I've caught up with some great guests. Faldo, we saw Luke Donald, the Ryder Cup captain. It's been absolutely crazy out there. A great chat with Ricky Fowler as well. This seems like the hot place to be. Travis, good morning. How are you boys? You all good? Billy Horschel. Yeah, there we go. There are people here, there and everywhere, and that's what we love about this. The putting green is humming. Conor McKinney missing his tee time. But yeah, what a morning it's been. To get access like this is truly special, to be able to talk to so many great faces on the eve of the Open Championship. But now this putting green is busy as it gets. Oh, there's Captain Zach Johnson. Morning, boys. Danny Willett's getting set up and ready to go. This is their last chance before the championship to get dialed in. As we well know, drive for show, putt for dough. You see so many contraptions on here, and this is probably one of the occasions where the players are the most dialed in. They are here for hours, and every little element, every angle, it counts so much. They're so fastidious when it comes to putting, and it's quite interesting to see all the various techniques and whatnot. What have I been missing on the range? It sounds like a busy day over there as well.
Yeah, it's been tremendous over there, George. You've been so busy, George, that you've not had a chance to get the full haircut done. They've left quite a bit of it there. Are you going to pop back in to see them again and get the rest of it done?
What was that? Sorry, I've got a few voices in the air.
That haircut of yours, you've been so busy you didn't get a chance to get the full haircut done.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's been extra hectic, so just a little bit of fun in the back. You know, keep it edgy, keep you guys entertained. How's your haircut looking?
Listen, yes, I don't get them as often nowadays. Right. It's always good for a laugh. Let's hear from Di now.
Thank you very much, George. Still down here on the driving range, Victor Hovland, dressed in pink. Rich, you a fan?
Of the pink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Looks good on him,
Looks
absolutely.
Good. Sun is shining, beautiful day. I know you've got a
Yes.
busy one going out on the course and doing a few pieces this afternoon. Thanks for
Yeah.
your company.
Absolutely.
Who is your top tip, prediction for winning this Open, Rich?
Well, if I say anybody other than Tommy Fleetwood, am I truly
Yeah.
a Tommy Fleetwood fan?
Okay.
You know, and I like him for many reasons, and then that's the truth. But I also look at Ricky Fowler as somebody I think that's got the patience.
Second here in 2014. We've only
he's
got 10
the,
seconds
yeah,
left.
patience to get it done. So Tommy and Ricky, it's my two.
Those are your tips. I'm going Rory, back-to-back victories. We're back at 2 o'clock until 6. See you then.